All right, cool. It looks like we are live and we are feeding out to the folks out there. For everyone who's obviously watching us live on Utreon, you already know this. We have switched over to Utreon so we can handle guns. Rick Ector, I hope you got some guns over there. YouTube will not let us show guns when we're live, so we're doing the show live from Utreon. It's Utreon slash
Okay,
WMMF or Who Moved My Freedom
can you see this?
podcast.
This is like my daily carry gun here,
There
and
you go. See,
over
Rick,
there I got a Glock over there, and
yeah, there you go. Rod
that's all
Mills,
I have
yeah,
that's
Rod Mills,
accessible.
yeah, Rod Mills has got it. He's getting his James Bond on or something. Looks like,
Yeah,
yeah. There you
yeah.
go. So we are doing that from Utreon slash Who Moved My Freedom or WMMF podcast. That's where you could find that. All right. That being said, I'm going to kick the show off here officially. Let me know if there's any audio problems or anything like that for the folks out there that are in the chat. And let's press the button and get the show going here.
Welcome back to the Hank Strange Situation, Lifestyles of the Locked and Loaded.
We wouldn't be able to keep the Who Moved My Freedom podcast going without the support of great companies like Franklin Armory. Franklin Armory provides 100% US made firearms and awesome binary option triggers. Their focus and purpose is to provide freedom tools to all Americans, especially those in not so free states. So when you're in the market, please consider Franklin Armory. All right, so we are live. I hope you guys have your big girl panties on. Let's see. I'm going to do what we traditionally do here. Jazz hands. Come on, guys. Let's get those jazz
Man,
hands
not
in
the
the air.
jazz hands,
There you go. It's
jazz
all
hands.
chocolate. It's all chocolate tonight.
Right,
It's all
right,
chocolate.
right, right,
It's all
right.
chocolate.
I
Oh,
don't think
boy.
I've done jazz hands since the last time I was on, man.
Exactly. So a whole bunch of things have changed. I was just explaining that to Rick Ector in the background. So, we're all fancy now. We're going to go for 20 minutes. You see there's like a countdown clock down there that's at 19 minutes and 20 something seconds, and then we'll go to another break. We got all kinds of cool stuff going on, but we are live. This is episode 921. 921.
Man, I never knew you have OCD.
Why you say that?
Because you actually need to have a countdown timer to actually tell you when to take a break. I mean, only the most over the top OCD people would do such a thing.
Yeah, you guys
You're
are
OCD, right?
not really. This is
It's,
I'm gonna
it's,
blame
it's,
I'm gonna This
see,
is
that
Lola's fault.
confirms it,
I'm
because
gonna
people
blame
with
it on Lola.
OCD don't fess up that they have
Oh
OCD,
boy.
man.
Yeah, you guys are
Are
you
you
guys
one
are
of those guys that cleans your gun after you go shooting?
Oh hell no. No.
Oh, okay.
No,
All
no,
right.
no.
No, not him.
Yeah, you guys are in for a treat tonight. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah,
Um,
really.
Who, us?
no, the audience out there. It's gonna be
Who?
fun. So listen, my guest. Well, first of all, the title of the show is the 921st show. So we've got about like 79 shows, and then we're gonna hit 1,000 episodes. So you guys are all part of that. I invite everyone out there to stick with us here over the next 70 something episodes as we get to 1,000. The title of today's show is "Mistakes Were Made and Will Be Made Again." Yes, you guys will see what we're talking about here in a minute. But of course, our guests start with Rick Ector. There he goes, Rick Ector. If you don't know him, his organization is called LAID. LAID.
That's right.
That's what I said.
They're in
That's what I
shock.
said.
Go ahead.
That's what I
Explain
said. That's what I'm not going to explain it. You're from LAID, so people can take that for whatever they know. It is legally
Just
armed in
throw it out
Detroit.
there and not explain it. That's okay.
No, legally
Like, oh my
armed.
God, he had this guy on here, and all they kept talking about was
He's a
getting laid.
Yeah, Rick Ector is an octogenarian porn star, and he's joining us tonight. Let's tell us about-
Wait.
No.
What comes after 8? What is it?
After
make me
octo?
90, man.
What is after octo? Someone out there tell us.
Is it nano?
I don't know. Is it someone who knows Latinish better than us will tell us? Rick Ector, what's up, man? What's up with you?
Hey, man, I just want to know who moves your cheese, man. I'm glad to be on, man. It's been a year. The last time I was on, I came on and I wanted to talk about my shenanigans back home here in Detroit, Michigan. And, man, I thought I had a soft commitment to coax you from deep in the South to come up north and help us do some things with these firearms and welcome women into the culture.
I'm definitely helping. We're talking about it tonight.
We are, and you know what? You know what?
Uh-huh.
If I forget to tell you, I'm going to thank you up front, man. Thank you for having me.
Oh, you're welcome, Rick. I forgot how the energy level goes up when Rick is on the show. It's kind of
people are familiar with people who are like shy and quiet, right?
Mm-hmm. Right.
You know, recluses, right?
Uh-huh.
I'm on the other edge of the spectrum, man. I'm like, I wouldn't say, you know, extreme, but I'm not shy, man. I am not shy. I am many things, but shy is not one of them.
Listen, it's like family to me. When Lola first met me and she came around my family, she always thought we were fighting, and I was like, no, we're just talking. This is how we talk. So that's how it goes. Also, let me introduce Rod Mills is here of Scorched Earth Firearms Training. Rod Mills also joining us. What's up, Rod Mills?
Hey, how's it going, man?
What's your porn star name, Rod Mills? You know, we know Rick has laid. What's your porn star name?
My name is Halls Menthaliftis.
Okay. All right.
So when we were doing the banter before the show started, you were starting to tell me about your experiences down south, I guess, when you were in college, meeting some folks from Detroit. What did you think about folks from Detroit when you met those people from Detroit that was down there in school with you?
Oh, boy.
All right, so I'll tell you one thing. So I'm from Jacksonville. So I'm from Florida, okay? So I went to Alabama State. And one thing I can tell you, man, when I got to Alabama State, the most beautiful women on campus were from Detroit. And you could always tell, hey, back then, you could always tell women from Detroit because their hair was laid. They had those.
Their hair was what?
Laid.
There we go.
Okay, you had to explain that. Not everyone knows what that means.
Goes off every time someone says laid.
Yeah. Okay, you know what? Hold on. I'll do it. We'll do it right here. Right here. Someone's gonna get mad at me for that one. Every time.
Hey Rick.
So continue. Go ahead. I'm listening. Go ahead.
They always had those black ride boots on, and they always had Coach belts, right? So
What year is this, Rod Mills? What year? Sorry to interrupt.
87.
Okay.
So by me being from Jacksonville, I didn't know anything about Coach. So I was always wondering why do y'all walk around with y'all tags on your belts and stuff? So they were like, man, this is Coach. And I'm like, what's Coach? And they were like, man, you must be from the backwoods. I'm like, damn.
Yes. Yes, exactly.
Man, they played you like a straight up bumpkin. Isn't that the word? Bumpkin?
Hey, exactly. But I tell you, I went through the women from Detroit. I dated a girl from Cass Tech, Renaissance, Cooley.
Wait, that's my alma mater.
What's your alma mater?
Cooley. Thomas M. Cooley High School.
Well, Cooley's
that was in movies, right? That was in movies.
No, that wasn't that Cooley High, but this is the other one that's in Detroit. Right?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So first of all,
he's got that grin on his face, talking about his college escapades. Man.
Yeah,
he just went to another place in time right now. Look at it.
Yeah, he's reminiscing. That was some sweet poontang or something like that. Rod Mills. Let me ask you this. Let me ask you guys this. Why is it some dudes, when they meet someone, they have to reminisce? So, like, if you just met a dude from Nigeria, you'd be like, you know, man, those Nigerian chicks, damn. Let me tell you about some Nigerian. Yeah.
I can't tell you nothing about a Nigerian
Or
chick.
you meet someone from Jamaica, you're like, man, you know, these Jamaican chicks. That's what Rod Mills is, that guy.
He went to that place.
Yeah, he has all the women archived. What he knows about geography is what kind of women come from that place.
Hey, every time we have homecoming, I go back and I'm like, man,
oh boy,
them girls from Detroit, boy.
What?
Now,
Wait,
hey Rick,
wait. Stop right there. Stop right there. Say the name of my hometown again.
Detroit.
No, it's not Detroit. No.
What is it?
Oh,
It's
D-Town.
Detroit.
It's
It's
what?
Detroit.
Oh, y'all. Okay, that's the way y'all say
It's
it.
Detroit. It's not Detroit. It's Detroit. Not Detroit.
Oh boy.
And if you ever get someone to try to spell it and they've never seen it before and they just try to like sound it out, they always get the I and the O transposed and it looks like Deriot. But no, it's Detroit. Actually, the name of the city was initially Villa de Trois, right? City by the Strait.
So that
See,
comes from
that's
y'all
what
East
Villa
Coast,
de
like
Trois
Toronto.
means?
City by the Strait.
City by the Straits. Oh.
Founded in 1701.
I didn't know Detroit was French.
Well, I mean, the
Yeah,
guy that founded Antoine de
Well, they're
la
right by
Mole,
Canada.
whatever his name is,
They're right across
1701.
the river from y'all. Right across the river from Toronto, right?
No, not Toronto, Windsor,
Windsor. Okay, Windsor. Yeah.
Yeah. Look,
in
I'll throw,
Ontario.
there we go. I'm throwing up Detroit for it's okay. I get it, but I see why people say D though. I get it why people say D. I say Detroit, but it's like tomato.
Okay. Explain it to me. Why do people say D instead of duh? Detroit.
Well, that's a
Because
southern thing.
yeah, because some people are from the backwoods.
Yeah, like
Some
Guyana.
people from the yeah, I'm from Guyana, but I'm a little bit more cultured than that.
You from Guyana?
Yeah, I was born in Guyana. Yeah, in South
Oh,
America.
okay.
Yeah. So tell me about the chicks you know from Guyana.
I've seen you and talked to you. Why am I just now learning this?
There's a lot of things about me that people don't know, man. See, the difference with you is you
Wait,
actually,
wait,
whenever you
this is
come on, you
episode-
ask questions. You ask questions. That's what I like about you. You ask questions. Everyone else comes on and they just want to talk about themselves. So that's why,
Well, I know everything there is, I think, to know about me. I mean, it might be some things going up there that, I'm not paying attention to, but I pretty much got that handled, man. I want to talk about Hank Strange and what Hank Strange is doing on the 30th and the 31st.
Of what month?
I think he and Lola can jump in the Scooby Doo mobile and come on up north for a
Listen,
few days.
right here in this that window right there, I've got the events. So it's the 11th annual free women's shooting event for 2022, right? Do you see it? It's right over there. We can go full screen on it actually, so everyone can see. Event by Rick Ector. Legally Armed in Detroit. It's all there. And you've got like 771 people going or interested. So there you go. Tell us about your event that you're having that I won't necessarily be showing up there, but I will help get some other people to show up there. In the future, Rick, sometime in the future, I will show up there. Not
You
right
know
now
what?
with these gas prices.
The Hank Strange from the past gave us one of those predictions about this year, man, and I'm starting to wonder if you should give up the whole fortune telling business. And
So,
find
Rick,
another-
so let me tell you, Rob Mills can attest to this. Rick tried to make me feel guilty in the backdrop before this, and I was like, I don't have any kind of shame, man. I don't have any kind of shame.
you just own it. You just gonna own it and be like, okay, once I accept it, acknowledge it, and like not even care about like not coming through.
No, listen,
You're gonna try to suck all the wind from out of the sails and think that that's gonna detract me from my goal of holding you accountable, man. Because you said some words to me, man. You said next year.
Did I say next year?
Guess what?
Yeah.
Guess what?
Yeah, I definitely.
The rent is due.
I guess I'm like a politician. I'm more like a politician than I do. I guess that's what's going on here. A couple of things here. Shout out to everyone who's out there. I see like Dan Hates You. He's out there. 42 Chills says take the Hank jet. And Brian Quick says, Hank, can you say Camaro? There you go, Camaro.
What's that?
Camaro.
It's a car. Camaro.
Camaro.
Yeah, that's what I'm. Yes, I guess that's how some people pronounce those words. They say
That's what
Camaro.
some people down. That's how some people down south pronounce those words that sound differently from the folks up north. Okay.
No, that's not a down south thing. I say that. Believe it or not, when I came to America, I had a British accent, so that's how I say. That's what I say when I say
So
that
can you
wrong.
like turn that off and on?
Not anymore. I used to. I used to be able to, but it's been a while. I've been here since the '80s, so
Okay.
if I'm
So
around a
you
bunch
have
of British people, I used to live in England. I used to live in Nigeria, but I went to England as a kid. I left Guyana at 5, and I went to England. That's really
do you
where
do
I picked
you
up
do
from.
you remember from 5 what that was like, or is
I
it like just
I
gone?
remember everything from since I was 5 years old. Before 5 years old, like Guyana is kind of blurry to me. I remember walking through cotton fields and stuff like that in Guyana. I remember being chased by people or whatever because I'm mixed. I'm half Indian and half black. And in the '70s, believe it or not, in Guyana that wasn't actually cool. Guyana is like
I've
half
never
Indian and
seen a
half.
cotton field, man.
You've never seen a cotton field?
No, I mean like in movies and like in a picture. Oh, okay. I'm the only one
I've seen
on
it.
the
Yeah,
show
come on.
tonight that has never seen a cotton field.
Yeah, why have you never seen a cotton field, Rick?
Come on down here. We got plenty
They
of
don't
them.
grow cotton up north, man.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, there's some different reasons, but it's not really. It's not. Listen, I understand all the connotations. It's funny. The other day, I think I was in Walmart, and I saw like a fake plastic cotton plant, and I was telling Lola, I was like, "Oh man, we should get that and put that in the van." Lola was like, "Oh no, we can't put this cotton plant in the van. That's not a good look." I was like, "What are you? Why? Why would it not be a good look?" And she's, obviously, like, you had slaves working in the cotton fields. I was like, yeah, but
Man,
that's not the
I
cotton's fault.
probably wouldn't even recognize a cotton plant.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, you know one when you see one. Trust
Yeah.
me.
Do you know that you can actually eat those things? I know
You can
that's
eat a
No, I
cotton
didn't.
plant.
yeah,
I
you
didn't.
yeah.
I
There's
mean, like,
there's like
eat
a
it
fruit.
like straight up raw. Or would you have to
Not
like cook
not
it
really.
with
No,
a
not really the cotton,
wing?
but there is a fruit. I remember eating certain parts of it when I was a kid. So
Nah,
Oh,
not a cotton plant.
like raw.
no, not you can't really eat the cotton necessarily, but
You can't. Well, you damn sure can't eat the other part because the
you
other
could
thing.
eat anything, man. If you could eat squirrels, if
Okay,
you could
so
eat squirrels,
the other part of the cotton plant is spikes. So I know you can't eat that.
if you
Was
there
this
are-
squirrel reference like completely random, or have you guys had some previous correspondence on the proper preparation of squirrel meat?
oh, I don't know anything about the preparation of squirrel meat, but
Okay.
yes, people always talk about how squirrel's good eating. So there's a cotton plant
Right.
right there.
So that's
There's
why I
a-
said, if you see those little spike things there, you can't eat those. Trust me, you cannot eat any part of a cotton plant.
I'm looking at this like I've never seen it before.
Plants
man.
are in different stages, Rod Mills. Plants are in different stages. So every
I mean,
plant
you-
has
you-
every plant has a fruit. Every plant has a fruit. So there you go. Dan Hates You says they make candy out of cotton. No. That's
Is
not-
that like where
No,
cotton
it's not
candy
true.
comes from?
No, cotton
No,
candy
that's
is just
true.
sugar, man. It's just sugar. You
I
know
know
that.
at the state
Oh,
fair. At the state fair, they
cotton
take that
candy is
little they
sugar
take that
that's
little
in your-
cardboard tube and they roll it around the inner circumference of the machine, and they
Yeah, that's
Like
just like
roast
taking
cotton.
sugar and making it like almost like a spider web kind of thing.
They melt it.
Yeah, yeah. So that's what Night Train says. There's a lot of cotton picking plants in Georgia. There's a lot of them in Florida too.
Florida,
Where-
Alabama, Georgia,
Yeah,
Mississippi.
actually, where I live, the area that I live used to be the watermelon capital of the world. Where I live, the part of Florida that I'm in, was the
there are
wa-
that much of them growing at any given period of time. Huh?
Well, yeah, and right now we're in watermelon season right now, and around watermelon season, like those big yellow school buses.
Right?
You'll see old ones of those where they cut the tops off, and they're just packed. The whole school bus is packed up with watermelons, and you'll see like 20 of those school buses driving down the road, and you'll see the watermelons falling off, all kinds of craziness happening. That's how.
So answer me this, since you know all things watermelon. Other than a fruit
No, not really.
salad, Can you do something else with like food preparation with a watermelon?
With a
Like,
watermelon, I know you.
yeah.
I've seen people grill it, but it doesn't make any damn sense to me.
No, I mean,
I've
I
seen
would
people.
think that from a culinary standpoint, watermelon would be kind of boring, wouldn't it?
Uh, I wouldn't say
It's much
And you
watermelon.
guys
more.
have more of it than anywhere else,
Yeah,
apparently.
no,
So,
I wouldn't say watermelon. I think watermelon is the like perfect fruit, man. You could take watermelon and just eat it, and it's delicious. It's sweet and all that kind of stuff. It's got a lot of liquids and it's freaking awesome just in its own state. So I
so,
think it's a
so do
pretty
you
perfect.
put salt on your watermelon when you eat it, or no salt? Salt or no salt?
I can't. I don't understand the words coming out of your mouth. Okay, why is there?
Are you
Why
serious?
why
You
was
don't, you
salt be
don't,
going
you
on a
don't, you
watermelon?
don't sprinkle salt on your watermelon when you eat it?
Rod Mills,
Yeah.
have you?
Yeah,
What is
I
he
don't
talking
eat.
about?
I don't eat watermelon, but I've seen
You know
people
what? I'm
put
talking
salt
to
on it.
two brothers from
Yeah.
the South, so maybe this is a northern
Yeah,
thing. Maybe that's
yeah,
what it is.
Rod
No, no, no,
Mills.
no,
Why
no.
don't you eat
It's not
watermelon,
a northern
Rod?
thing.
Why don't you eat
I've seen people
watermelon?
down here. I've seen people down here eat it. Salt on watermelon. I mean,
No. Mm.
yeah, that's nothing northern about that. They do it down here.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Hank
Yeah.
just isn't up on
Yeah.
it then.
This is just this sound is just so we could keep an eye. We've got like 17 seconds left here. I'm just wondering, why does Rod Mills not eat watermelon? Quickly, Rod, before we take the break.
No, I don't eat watermelon, collard greens, any of that.
What?
Okay.
Nope.
Yeah, we're gonna have to come back and dig into this in a second. Walther Arms has been making concealed carry handguns for over 90 years, starting with the PPK. Today, Walther is based in the good old US of A and still builds quality firearms like the PPQ and PDP for personal defense and competition. So when you're in the market, please consider Walther Arms. We wouldn't be able to keep the Who Moved My Freedom podcast going without the support of great companies like Walther Arms. Yeah, so Lola is asking this question. She says, "Why on earth would you put salt on a watermelon?" I don't know. These people
Seasoning. That's how you
See?
season a watermelon before you eat it.
No.
Watermelon without salt is so boring.
Rick, are
Like
Where's
you
some
Lola?
okay?
people put,
Where's
like some
Lola
people
from?
put
Is she
sugar.
a normal? Is she like Floridian?
Lola
Like,
was
hey,
born in Ghana, West
so
Africa.
so some
Oh,
people
okay.
eat. Some people put sugar on their grits. I don't,
Oh,
but
you
I've
know
seen it.
what? You know what? Grits are not grits until you have butter and sugar on your grits.
Yeah, I'm not a grits guy. I'm a cream
You
of
don't
wheat
eat
guy.
grits at all?
No, I don't. No, I've
At
had
all.
it. I've had it before, but I'm not a fan of it. But listen, before we
So
get too
Rick,
far, okay,
so
go
Rick,
ahead, Rod.
he's telling me about watermelon. He don't eat grits. So that's the same thing, right?
No, I want to know
You know
why
what?
you
You
don't.
know what?
I
You know
want to
what?
know.
I do not believe you guys are from the South if you don't eat watermelon and
I
grits, man.
I am.
You're Southern. You're Southern. Whatever. Your Southern card has been revoked, man.
I'm not from
Well,
the South.
he's not from the South. I
I'm
am.
from the deeper South than this South. Trust me, I'm from South America. So I was
But
born
so Rick, he's
on
not.
the
You can't
equator.
count him. You can't count him, Rick. But for me, I'm born and bred in the South. But everybody in my family ate, grit. I mean, not I eat grits, but everybody in my family ate watermelon and collard greens and everything, turnips, all of that.
So
I
what's
just
up
never
with
ate it.
collard greens, man? You don't eat collard greens?
Yeah.
But guess what? The thing
Yeah, Rob
is,
Mills, why are you
what-
racist
hold on,
against
hold
collard
on,
greens,
hold
man?
on.
Why?
Wait. Do you
Hold
eat
on.
mustard greens or turnip greens?
No, but I eat spinach.
So you don't do it. Do you even eat a salad or anything? You eat a salad?
Very rarely. Very rarely.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. You're like a carnivore.
Yeah, I'm
Right.
with
So,
that. I won't eat a
but
salad
Rick,
either.
I'll tell you this: my daughter does the same thing, but she never got that from me.
So
Where did
you
she
just
get it from?
I don't know
She
because her
said she
mom,
grew
her
up
mom,
watching you not eat it, and so she said she wasn't going to eat it, just like Dad doesn't eat it.
no, because her mother eats it, all of that, and I don't, and so it's like I think my grandmother didn't eat it, so I think it's going, but
so
my dad.
but here's the question I'm asking you: is it this just that you don't like the taste of watermelon, or you don't like
Right,
the
right.
taste of okay?
But I don't eat hardly any fruit. I mean, the only fruit I may eat is an orange, and if I'm eating an apple, it's got to be pureed up into like a smoothie.
Okay.
Oh.
Oh, now I know
So,
what's wrong with you.
so it ain't got nothing to do with
He
watermelon.
needs to incorporate some fruit into his diet.
You're gonna get scurvy. You're gonna get scurvy,
Right,
Rod Mills.
right. Rickets and walking around here with big bones, right?
I can tell you one thing. Lola says I'm a northerner. I can tell you one thing. So I'm from the Caribbean. If people want to know, Lola says I'm a northerner. I'm not a northerner either. I'm from the Caribbean. I'm an American. I know. So I'm like, oh, you're an American. Yes, I'm an American. Very proud of it. But I'm from the Caribbean. That's that's how I was born and raised. And one thing I could tell you is if there was food and you didn't eat the food, you get licks.
You didn't eat. If you didn't eat what was prepared, you didn't eat, right?
No,
is that what you're telling me?
Oh no, you will eat with tears.
Man.
You will be beaten and you
They had
will
to
eat.
beat you to make you eat?
Some things, yeah, some things for sure.
Okay. Top 3 things that Hank Strange does not like to eat, and you have to beat him to make him eat it.
I don't like shrimp. That's one thing.
What?
I don't like shrimp.
Yeah, he don't like
You don't like shrimp?
No.
Man, what is wrong with you?
No, I don't like shrimp at all.
No?
No.
Did you ever see the movie Forrest Gump?
Yes.
And
Yeah.
you saw all the different ways that he can
Yeah. Did they mention curry shrimp? Like, I've been beaten to eat curry shrimp and all that. With my mom being Indian, my mom would curry a lot of things. But no, I don't like shrimp. So that's one thing I can tell you.
Wow, man. Okay. Yeah. We're gonna get off of shrimp. You floored me with that one. Number 2. What's number 2?
Oh, I can't. This is not something I had to be. But like, I didn't grow up eating pork, so I don't eat pork.
It's okay. So you don't like pork?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. My dad was
what?
raised as a 7-day Adventist, so there was no pork.
You don't
like,
eat
when I was
oysters
growing up.
either.
Man, I'm thinking about.
Yeah, I don't eat oysters. No, and I don't eat snail penis like some people. I'm not gonna mention, but some people, someone who's on this podcast eats conch penis or whatever. I don't know.
Are you serious?
Yes, I wonder who that is.
Is that like a delicacy of some sort? I'm asking all the questions. You know, it's not me.
I think we're ruining you, Rick. We are bringing down the gun community. Someone is gonna tell me, I can't believe you had Rick Ector on your show and you talked to him about snail penises and all kinds of craziness.
You know what they say? When in Rome, do as the Romans do, man. And apparently, you run a very interesting ship here, man. Number 3. What's number 3?
So Asper Warrior is saying that Hank don't like shrimp. He eats his steak well done. He doesn't eat bacon. His food opinions are irrelevant.
You don't eat pork, so you.
No, I don't eat pork.
Bacon.
Yeah,
You don't eat ham either, right?
I eat turkey bacon or beef bacon, stuff like that. And yes, I like my steaks well done. I don't like eating blood.
Wait.
What?
Who eats a well done steak, man? I mean, it's got to be like
This guy.
exceedingly tough, like shoe leather, man.
No, not shoe leather, but it needs to be seared, man. I don't like seeing.
I mean, you can have
blood.
it seared on the outside and have a nice pink center, right?
Yeah, that I'm okay with. Yes, that I'm okay with.
See, if I'm eating a steak, I eat my steak medium, man. Medium.
Well,
it's still juicy.
But I think this is perspective. To a lot of people, medium well done is overcooked.
It is.
That's what
I didn't say medium well.
Well, that's what
medium.
Asper Warrior is talking about. That Asper Warrior is one of those people that just eats raw meat. That's
There's
it.
some people that do that, man. They might throw it on the grill and like flip it.
No,
like
just slice it off the cow and eat it. That's He says that it's not. That isn't blood. It's just the color from the proteins, man. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lola says she has me eating medium rare now. So my kids, by the way, don't. My kids are not happy about that. They like steaks the American way. I like my food. I like my food cooked, man. I've lived outside of America. See, you guys in America that are used to having like healthcare and stuff like that, you can eat a raw steak and eat clams and all kinds of craziness, and you'll be okay. But people who grow up in third world countries, if you get sick, you're just gonna die. Okay, you just gonna
I
sit
mean,
there and die.
suddenly the mood of the room just changed, man. And now we're talking about foodborne illnesses and dying and death. A certain pall has fallen over the virtual room here, man.
Okay, all right. You know, you're the guest here on the show, Rick. What do you want to talk about?
Look, man, look, let me tell you.
Uh-huh.
I have been on a number of podcasts and shows and things, man, and I'm on my publicity cruise, my publicity blitz right now, man. So I'm talking about this little thing that I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the month, roughly 2 weeks and a couple of days,
Mm-hmm.
I am going to empower women with knowledge about handgun operation, man. I'm going to teach them some fundamental firearm safety rules, and I'm going to teach them how to safely handle a gun, how to load it, go into the booth, and put some holes in a target silhouette, man. It's going look. It's going to be a blast,
Right.
pun intended.
Right. Okay, awesome. So folks out there who want to get involved in what's happening, it's happening in Detroit, right?
Yes, sir.
It's July 30th at 9 a.m. Until July 31st at 7 p.m. How do people get involved?
Well, I mean, go to my Rick's Firearm Academy of Detroit page on Facebook, facebook.com/Michigan CCW. My personal profile page on Facebook is facebook.com/Detroit CCW. I am Detroit CCW on Twitter. I'm Detroit CCW on Instagram. Can you guess my handle on YouTube?
Rick Gets Laid.
Detroit CCW, man.
Oh, okay.
We had some momentum building. My IDs I've given you have all been Detroit CCW.
Okay, hold on a second. I gotta find it.
And then you like blurted out laid in a fashion as if you had like Tourette's or something. Just blurted it out. I think you're like wanting to say it over and over again, man. And it's cool. I want you to get it out of your system. I want you to feel comfortable saying it. Legally armed in Detroit.
Yeah, I'm very comfortable saying it. Okay, so here we go. If you guys are searching it, I'll pull up the screen here. This is how you find it. Detroit CCW. I'll make sure I'm following it for
that's
this
free
particular.
on that's my Instagram, and what's that right there?
There
Take a look at my last few posts, man. Tell you what.
Okay, let's see what you got. Gun ownership in America here. Where are you? And Asper Warrior, who's in the chat, already liked it. By the way, Asper Warrior says, he says, "Amen, brother. Do that shit. Women need to find that power and use it." So there you go. That's from Asper Warrior, who already liked your thing, so he follows you. So we've got some people who are following you on there.
Man, you know what? I made a post to at least Twitter telling folks I was coming over, and I threw up a quick post, on Facebook. Actually, I was going to put it on all of my social media properties, but I got like the log-on information,
Yeah, we do that right before the show, man. This is impromptu.
Like right before showtime, man.
This is freestyling over here, man. We freestyle it.
You know what? I'm trying to let my people, my followers, I'm trying to turn them on to the strangeness of Hank.
Yeah,
and let them come
they're either here or they will get here. We're gonna go out on audio. We're gonna go up on YouTube. I shared it up in some places.
I want my people to know about you, so I'm like, hey, come check out Hank Strange, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I appreciate it. I see you. You did something with Dana Lash.
Yes, I was on the show yesterday.
With Dana. Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yesterday, I had 4 interviews yesterday, man.
Wow. Okay. So this is so basically, like you said, you're on the publicity tour right now. I'm trying to see what else. Let's see. Oh, here's another post. Here you look angry.
Oh man, because we got a topic to talk about, man.
Firearm advocate pushes back on Detroit police. Okay, firearm advocate pushes back on Detroit police chief wanting assault weapon ban. Bam, there you go.
Yeah, they just had police get killed down.
So there
Mhm.
was this, really sad story out of Detroit a few days ago, man,
Mhm.
and it concerned itself with a police officer who went to this man's house, in accordance to doing his job, and the police officer was ambushed and killed, man, and
Mhm.
it was really sad. And his partner started rendering aid, trying to, help him out.
Mhm.
And she was exposed to the bad guy because he still had a gun and was still able to shoot. And luckily, some other officers were able to take the bad guy down, man. And so, in the aftermath of this tragedy, there has
Mhm.
been a call by our local police chief back home. He wants to ban so-called assault weapons, right? And so,
Mhm.
in that article, I made it perfectly clear that the city of Detroit, the Detroit Police Department, everybody, who works in that space in public safety, to keep the public safe, you know what? You have my total, complete sympathy. But once you start using a tragedy and then try to transition over to
Mhm.
uh, using it as an opening to start railing against the Second Amendment, then I'm going to say, okay, we were together in solidarity up to this point. Now
Mhm.
that we're having the, hey, ban long guns, ban
Mhm.
rifles and shotguns, this is kind of where the conversation is going to diverge. And let's have a conversation and a debate about it, because I am, if anything, 100% pro gun, and I don't care what
Mhm.
kind of gun it is, pistol, rifle, shotgun, you name it, it should be legal.
Yeah. You know, it, it's interesting. This is like today is one of those days where there's a lot of people mad at cops out there, right? I'm not saying they're mad at all cops. I definitely don't see the world that way. I think that there are a lot of cops out there that take their profession very seriously, and it's a really dangerous profession. And I've got like family members and friends and people that I love that are police officers. But with everything
Same
happening in,
here. Same here.
yeah,
I have family and friends that are
yeah,
law enforcement. So.
yeah, and with everything happening in Uvalde, I know people are mad. I mean, basically, what happened in Uvalde was like horrible for these cops to stand back for 77 minutes on the scene and not do anything. So there's people mad about it. But all these things that happen, there's folks out there. Their first reaction is to go, yeah, this is why we should take these guns away. But the people out there who have sense in their heads, they don't have that reaction. It makes them go, this is why I need the guns. You
You
know?
know
Exactly.
what? I think most of America, when they saw all of the riots that were part of the so-called peaceful protests that were happening all over the country,
Mm-hmm.
I think it stirred so much angst and fear in so many anti-gun people, man. They scared them into gun ownership. And that's why we had, what was it, last year? We broke a record for firearm sales in this country, man.
Yeah.
And some people, when things slowed down a little bit, turned them back in or resold or sold them back. But a lot of people didn't, man.
Mm-hmm.
And so there are going to be some consequences behind that. You have a lot more people who not only have a financial investment in gun ownership, they
Mm-hmm.
also have an emotional investment because they're associating this firearm with their safety.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely. Mm-hmm.
once they become even more familiar, who knows? Some of the held political views on a lot of other things might be open to interpretation and may change as a consequence. Because, in the political space, man, people are treating guns as if it's a binary proposition. Like if you're a gun rights person or you're a gun owner, they either think you're crazy or you belong or beholden to one particular political party, man. But
Mm-hmm.
the way I see it, if you are concerned about your safety and you take your job seriously as the covering and the protector of your family, a firearm is indispensable. Why wouldn't you own a gun?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Rod,
Yep.
I know you want to say some stuff. Go ahead. I know you
No, I
want.
mean,
Mm-hmm.
he's exactly right. I mean, it's a shame that you know Well, the one thing I'm gonna tell you is this, and it's ironic, Rick, that I don't know if you know who T Electric is. He's a Detroit guy that has.
There you go. You said it again.
Detroit.
Wait. Say it one more time.
Detroit.
There you go. There you go.
Detroit.
It's,
So
yeah,
he's a Detroit guy, and you know, his main thing is. As a matter of fact, he lives right around the corner from where the cop got killed, and he was saying that this is the main reason why we need these weapons, because keep in mind, when someone breaks into your home or somebody's going to shoot you or anything, you want to have at least what they have or something more lethal than what they have. You don't want to have below what they have. I mean, that's why cops started carrying AR-15s now after what happened in Los Angeles at the bank. Because guess what? Those guys did not have any type of assault weapon. They had to go to the local gun store that was around the corner from the bank and then get ammo from them and then try to, you know, dispose of the bank robber. But, you know, I tell anybody, hey, get you something, an assault weapon that, hey, you know what, that's going to be able to handle the situation. Now, me as an instructor, certified instructor, I tell them, hey, once you get that weapon, get instruction. Don't just get the thing and that's it. My hardest thing is when I find out, when I get my students, they were like, well, man, we didn't know all of this entail in, you know, firearms instructor. I'm like, yeah, it does, you know. It's not the movies. You just can't go out there and think you're John Wick. You need to be trained.
You know what? I want to take that class. You got a John Wick class, man? I need some John Wick training, man.
Listen, we're gonna take a quick break. We're coming right back. We wouldn't be able to keep the Who Moved My Freedom podcast going without the support of great companies like High Point Firearms and Full Forge Gear, bags and gear for everyday life. Did you know High Point is an American family-owned and operated company located in Ohio with over 30 years of manufacturing experience? High Point is proud to be the home of the working man's gun and your source for affordable handguns and carbines with a lifetime warranty. So when you're in the market, please consider High Point. All right, so there's one thing I was going to say before we continue here. You know, typically when you talk to people who get into things, one of the things you find out is you run out of ammo really quick. I was just re-looking at video today when I was in the barbershop from Bun B. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Bun B, the rapper.
Wait. I know you see all this gray, man, but I'm here.
Yeah, Bun B is gray too, man. We all gray.
Hey, you don't look that gray, man.
What are you talking about, man? I got gray.
As old as I am? Okay, yeah, there we go.
How old are you, Rick? How old are you?
For me?
Yeah.
Oh no, man! I'm gonna put you on Front Street. I'm gonna see how much you care or don't care.
Give me
a number. Give me a number.
So okay, listen, I'm 50 years old, so I think you're probably.
Oh, okay. That's cute.
I'm gonna say you're 72. Rod Mills, how old are you, and how old do you think Rick Ector is?
I'll be 52. I'll be 52 in September.
So how old do you think Rick is?
Okay, so Rick. So hold on.
I am the senior man on the show tonight.
Rick is from Detroit. So
yes, thank you for pronouncing it correctly, man. I fixed you.
Oh boy.
People from Detroit and Chicago age faster than us.
Oh.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, it's true.
So I'm actually like 36, right?
Okay, give us an age. Give us an age, Rod Mills.
Rick's like 56.
56.
Yeah, you real hot, man. You real close. On the 25th of September, I will be 55, man.
55. Okay, you're still young. You're still young then. You're still in the category.
Man, I don't need the patronization, man. I don't need you to try to.
You're still in the category
and make me feel better, man. Look,
you're still in the category with the rest of us.
You know what I'm gonna tell
Rick,
you?
Rick, said you were 72.
I'm gonna say, you get to 55, man. You get there.
Oh yeah, I'll be happy. Listen, I wasn't. I the way that I grew up, man. I was shocked when I got to 21. No shit.
Oh,
I mean, I grew up in New York City, man. I grew up in in New
Queens.
York City, in Queens, Far Rockaway, son, in the
Okay.
crack '80s.
Oh
So,
man, look.
so I mean, it was
You know that
crack and
the
AIDS,
the
crack
whole
and AIDS.
crack epidemic was a weird moment in American history, wasn't it?
It was
Yeah.
surreal. When I look back on it, I feel like it was a movie. I
It
really
was,
do.
and then they've made several movies about it too.
It's
Well, we're
surreal to
going
me. It
through
was
it right
surreal.
now with fentanyl.
Yeah, man,
Um,
that's another
yeah,
bad
but
one.
I agree with you. I think that fentanyl is even worse. But that particular thing was weird, man. When you saw your friends' parents were crackheads, it's like, yo,
Yeah.
what's happening? You
And
know,
what about the functional crackheads?
yeah, there was a lot of craziness that happened in those times. So
When people think of crackheads, they think of what's the comedian Dave
Felicia,
Chappelle?
Felicia from Friday.
Right.
yeah.
All crackheads weren't like that.
No, or
You had
Dave
some
Chappelle, or Dave
crackheads.
Chappelle in I forget what was that?
Yeah.
What was Dave Chappelle the crack? He was a crackhead in a lot of movies back in the days.
Yeah.
Uh,
But a
yeah,
lot of crackheads were like us, functional crackheads.
yeah,
They
it's
held a job.
it's weird. It was such a weird thing. But here's the thing. So I was talking about Bun B, and Bun B he was discussing how him and his wife were part of a home invasion, and one of the things that he didn't.
As the victims.
Yeah, they were the victims of a home invasion. They were on the road and they had just come back. And I didn't real this happened more than a year ago, and I didn't realize it at the time that exactly everything that happened. So I was looking at the video again in the barbershop, and
Didn't he
basically
come
they
out? Didn't he grab his gun and actually ran out the house, shooting it down the street at him?
yeah, because he was
They were
like
running away.
he had like a multi-level house, and he came home and he went to the bathroom, and someone rang the doorbell, and his wife answered the door, and the guy pushed in with a gun and had that gun to her head, and she started screaming, and he was trying to rob her, and I think she just said like, here's the keys to my car, take the car. But the thing is, which ironically, that car turned out to be like a Audi R8, which I never realized that before. But that's sidetrack. So he was in the bathroom. He didn't have any clothes on, and he heard all of this, and he ran into the his bedroom where he had his gun, and then he came down and got into a shootout with this guy inside and outside of the house, and he ran out. He actually ran out of bullets. And one of the reasons he said is that his gun was
Did he at
chambered.
least put on some pants?
No, no.
Oh,
Damn.
So he said that when he grabbed he like when he grabbed the gun, he wanted to make sure that there was a round in there, and instead of just like bench pressing it or pressing it or whatever you want to call it, right? He basically jacked that round out of the gun and got into this shootout with the guy, and then ran out of rounds, but he'd already hit the guy. And then the guy surrendered and threw his gun down, and he jumped on top of the guy and started beating him up. But he was
okay.
out. He was out, and he was talking about the fact that he didn't have enough ammo. And this is one of the things that people don't realize, man. What if it was more than one dude? He would have definitely been in trouble.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, that's some of the things that we talk about when we do some
Yeah.
some
Press
training.
check. Press check is what I meant to say. I don't know why I said bench press. Press check.
This breath.
Man, we had already moved on to something else, and then you went.
My
all
brain
over
just
the
caught up to
place.
it. My brain just caught up to it. You could have called me on it. I told you I have no shame.
You're one of
I have no
those
shame.
guys, man. We've already moved on to the next topic, man. And
Oh,
then
someone will call me on it. You said bench press, Hank Strange. What the hell is that? Someone will call me on. But yes, the point is you don't know. I would rather, if I know I'm going into a fight, I'll rather have an AR.
okay.
If I'm out in everyday life, I don't have an AR on me. I have like I have a gun. I have just a regular handgun on me, and it's not even a full size gun because obviously I want to be comfortable. I don't want to have a whole, living in Florida, you don't have a whole bunch of clothing on and all that stuff. But if I know I'm going into a fight, I would rather have an AR and several magazines.
So let me ask you this:
Mm-hmm.
Are you a person that you have a gun on you every at any moment that you're outside the house, or are you one of those people that say, "Oh, I'm going here and I don't need it today"? I mean,
No, if I don't
where
have a
are you?
gun, if I don't have a
Are
gun on
you?
me,
Where are you on that spectrum?
I have a gun on me even when I'm in my house. I have one on me right now. I always have a. I'm wearing sweatpants. I have a gun on me. So yeah, I mean all the time. I believe like, the places where you're the most vulnerable are where you're the most comfortable. So you should always be armed. And I think that's one of the big mistakes that he made. And then also his wife wasn't armed, which is one of the big mistakes a lot of our wives make.
Yep.
You know, you should always be armed, even when you're home. That firearm, it does you the most good on you.
I mean, you're right. I mean, who has time to go run around the house and start assembling all of your things? Your
Yeah.
ammunition, your magazines, your gun. I mean, it might be upstairs somewhere. Like me,
Mhm.
wherever I am, so is my gun. I'm right here at my home at a table. Gun is right here
Mhm.
on the table, man. I don't have to go look for it. It's there. I know where it is. If I
Yeah.
need it, right over there.
Yeah. I agree with that. But but I mean, I think like the conversation about ARs and these guys going after ARs, it's crazy. And when you see this thing, I know everyone's really upset about it. I'm upset about it. Looking at that footage and all that kind of stuff is like, it makes me sad. I was never in law enforcement. I wasn't in the military or anything. I'm not gonna pretend or act like I'm a badass or whatever. But it makes me sad to see a bunch of professionals that their duty is to you would believe it should be to run into these situations. But if you're going to a school, specifically, you're going to a school with children, your only duty is to get in front of anything that is a threat to those kids. And to see those guys like actually turn around and all that kind of stuff, it's sad. And to think that they stopped all the parents who wanted to go in there, and they were the ones that had all the right tools and the right equipment and all that kind of stuff. But at the end of the day, it's a reminder that it's our responsibility, and it's something you have to take seriously, because
Okay,
these guys won't be there for
so
you.
you took us there. So what is your position on guns in schools in terms of teachers, staff, uh, security guards?
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
mean,
what's
so
your
I
take
don't
on
want to.
guns in schools?
I wouldn't force staff or teachers to be armed if they don't want to be. If people don't want to be armed and have fears of weapons and stuff like that, I wouldn't want to force them to do it. But I think that they should allow people who want to do that and do not have a fear of it, to do it. Even if they have to
Do
go
you
through
see the
training.
irony there of a teacher being afraid because of ignorance
Hmm.
and not learning or having intellectual curiosity to even explore more about this thing that could save your life? Or if you really love your students like you claim you do,
Hmm.
wouldn't you want to protect them?
I mean, I agree with you. I agree with you on that, but yeah, I think the problem we have is that a lot of people are programmed. A lot of people, there's people who have genuine fear, and I understand that, right? We all have some genuine fear of something,
I am not afraid of this.
right? Yeah,
Guess
but
what? It's not afraid of me either, but you know what?
hmm
We get along so well.
hmm
We
yeah,
spend a lot of time together. Everywhere I go, it's with me.
yeah, I agree with you on that. But I think that in all of this country, there are people who are like us that are not afraid, that have experience and have the desire and the will, to get in front of bad guys and protect children and other people. And we should at
Look,
least,
man, look,
when we
I'm
talk
gonna, I'm
about
gonna
these
tell you.
solutions, we talk about it, but we don't ever really do anything about that. That happened here in Florida in a school where the cops also stood by and let bad things happen. The person who did it is alive. uh you know like, said he was guilty. We haven't even sentenced him in Florida, and we've added gun control to Florida in that time. So
Hey, hey
go
guys,
ahead,
let me say
go ahead.
something. Let me
Hmm.
let me let me intervene real quick. I was listening to a story from a Navy SEAL that said that they were on an ops over in Iraq, and they were actually about to get ready to storm boat, I guess. The boat was actually by an oil field or oil well or something, and the point guy froze at the door. Froze.
Mm-hmm.
So the one thing that a lot of people that I know from being in the military and being a military police officer is we can train all you want to. You never know how you're going to react when the bullets start flying past your face and your ears. And you get what that lockup syndrome.
Mm-hmm.
And clearly when I saw that tape today, like the one guy, the one police officer, you may not have noticed it. He went outside to throw up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And you could tell how nervous. You should be nervous. I mean, I'm not saying that you shouldn't be nervous.
Well, it's one of those things you have no control over, man.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
It's your brain telling your body that you're
Right.
in danger, and then your body starts doing weird things, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're
like
typically not in control of that. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's just like a boxer when you get hit with that one punch and your legs start going like spaghetti. The one thing that I did see, and I looked carefully, not at the guys that were on point, but I looked at the guys that were in the back. When those guys on point dealt with the guy and it was all over with, you can all see the sigh of release, like, damn, I'm glad I didn't have to go in there. That's their body language, how their body language spoke. And I was looking at
that. Yes.
And,
I mean, there was also one of the guys that you could tell. I believe the reports say that he had a kid in that school, but he was getting held back. Like you could see someone actually physically holding on to him and holding him back. He wanted to go forward. And I think the thing is, like, I get it when some of us are better at reacting to situations like that than other people. Some of that is natural. But anyone, regardless, even if you're a good person, when the shit hits the fan, you're the kind of person that keeps acting and all that. Anything could go wrong. But in a situation like that, where time is so super critical, if you're the person who's in doubt, get the fuck out of the way. Let the person who's not in doubt go and do what they need to do.
But
right?
the thing is, Hank,
that's the point of a team.
The one thing is that they freeze up and they don't really know that they're doing that. Your body. It's one thing to have your brain functions saying one thing and your body doing something else. So, I mean, it's easy for us to be Monday morning quarterbacks, but that was a good representation of guys, multiple guys, locking up, freezing up. Mm-hmm. And you can see the true human response on what they have with the body going through stress.
Go ahead, Rick. I'm gonna let you. Yeah, go for it.
Oh, I didn't really have anything mind-altering to say, man. But here's the thing: unless you're prepared, and God knows, how do we ever know 100% that we're ready for everything hitting the fan, man? You just train and you just do the best you can and hope that you're ready when it happens, man. Because here's the thing. There's a difference between being afraid and shutting down, man. I mean, if you're not afraid in that circumstance in which you could lose your life, you're not human. I mean, you have a good reason to be afraid, but here's the thing. You act accordingly despite the fear. But you're in trouble, your body is going to let you know about it.
Yeah, listen, I agree with you guys, but I have to say this. A lot of people don't have to be in these situations for us to figure out that they shouldn't be doing that job in the first place. So I'm not saying that you could predict even how a badass is going to act in that moment. I think it happens to everyone, right? Me included. But there's a lot of people you can tell that cannot handle stress. I remember a long time ago when I worked in New York City, my boss was actually I was a doorman, but this guy was actually in charge of security, and they put the doorman in that section. And the guy who was the boss was a police officer, and he was the most chicken shit person I ever saw. And he would literally hide behind a column, and whisper instructions to me when there was bad stuff happening. So if there was someone really important in there, he couldn't face those people, or if an emergency happened in the hospital, he would come to me and like, oh, this is. He would hide, and I always ask myself like, why the hell is this guy? Why the hell is this guy in charge of everyone? It's why he wasn't a police officer, why he left and he was doing this job. You could tell people who cannot handle these things. And if you look at that footage, you see that there were some guys that were already on point for whatever reason, and when the guys started firing, they backed up and evacuated from that position. You know, well, that's the worst thing. That's the biggest mistake that was made there. Okay, because they could have engaged that guy right there at that point, and they backed up and regrouped. And in that circumstance with kids who have no way of fighting back or doing anything to this guy, that's the worst thing to do. At least engage him and make the bullets come in your direction. I mean, this, we can say whatever we want to, but
I mean, here's the thing.
They were there. They were there.
I mean, you're there and you have the equipment and you have the training, but no matter who you are, I mean, you really don't know until it happens, man.
Yeah.
I get it. I agree with that. But I'm telling you,
and
I think that some of these people could be
are doing some things that they unwittingly shouldn't be doing and shouldn't be.
Some of these people could have been vetted out before this. Another thing
But how do you vet somebody for that though?
There's a lot of in everyday life you could see some things of this. I'm not saying it's going to indicate this unless you're actually in this stress situation. But one of the biggest things that I saw looking at that video is a bunch of people reacting and not enough people actually trained to do what they were supposed to do. It would have been better to have one person or 3 people there than 20 or 30 people, and all these people didn't know what to do or had, different things or going in different directions. So, and it's what I always say when we talk about cops, man. I'm for cops, but I think we need less cops with better vetting and better training that are better paid. And we're going to get better results than this.
Okay, so that's an interesting take. So, when you say we need less cops, you mean like less cops in overall numbers, or less cops that respond to a call for assistance? Or there's even been people who've been calling for no cops at all. And back here in Detroit, there was some person that was talking about replace cops with social workers.
No, I'm not. I'm definitely.
I agree with that. But somewhere on the spectrum, I guess
we're going to take a break. We're going to come right back and talk. With Armslist, you can shop the extensive list of local and nationwide firearms classified. Now with more confidence because of their built-in firewall. For only $6.99 a month for personal use, or $30 a month for business vendors. So when you're in the market, please consider Armslist. We wouldn't be able to keep the Who Moved My Freedom podcast going without the support of great companies like Armslist. I mean, and obviously I'm not trying to be the person like, talking and here, because I want to hear from you guys and what you think. But just to clarify what I'm saying, I don't believe in like, get rid of the cops or anything like that. I don't believe in that.
Okay.
But what I think is that what a lot of places do, especially when you're talking about the big cities around America, like you're talking about LA, Miami, New York City, right? What they do is just hire police officers en masse, and then what we wind up having is like you have quotas. Okay, you got to have so many men, so many women, so many black people, so many, this thing and that thing. And there's a lot of cops out there that aren't properly vetted. These people shouldn't necessarily be police officers. They're not meant to.
They don't have the. They're not moral people, or
I think it's
they don't respond to stress well.
It's a number of different things. Yeah, everyone shouldn't necessarily be on the streets. I'm not saying they can't be police officers, but maybe they should just be pushing paperwork somewhere other than being the ones who could be in a situation like this. And often what we're seeing is just hiring. Just people are getting hired and you're not finding the right people. You can get more out of 3, just like I just said to you. You can get more out of 3 dudes who know what they're doing and they were meant to do this thing. Okay? They have whatever it is, they have everything that it takes to do it. You can get more out of those 3 dudes than 30 dudes that you just hired because of quotas, or 300 guys because you hired because of quotas. And I think
I
that's
don't
the
even.
problem. We don't have a proper approach to
I
it.
think you're going to eventually get what you want because there is a shortage of people willing to pursue a career in law enforcement these days. I mean, particularly when you see a lot of anti-cop sentiment out there,
Yeah,
and
I agree with
you
that.
know, if you're a young person just starting off in your professional life, I would think that probably someone that's been in a profession for a while might try to, talk that person out of it because I don't, what, I'm not even sure if I believe that the institutions or the people or the community respects them like they used to or treats them like they should, man.
Yeah, I
You
agree.
know,
I agree.
and see, my thing is, man, I give the profession as a whole, I give them like mad respect and I appreciate what they do. And some people might say, well, there might be a bad apple here too. But there's a bad apple in every profession. So,
Yeah.
I understand that too, man. But we had a situation here where a cop, lost their life in the course of their duties, man. So
Hmm.
if there's a definition for hero, that would be it, man.
Yeah.
You,
Um, I think
paying the ultimate price.
yeah, absolutely, I agree with that. Rod Mills, did you want to say something? Because I know
I mean,
you're like you've done law enforcement, so I don't want to take away your ability to comment on that.
what? Well, I mean, just really what you guys both of you guys are right. I mean, no matter how much training that you're going to have, is never going to prepare you for um, a situation like that. Now, I can tell you this: there's a reason why in the military in boot camp you have drill sergeants because what they want you to do is they want you to do the job without thinking. Okay, such as when they send young guys over to war. They don't want you to think about the fact that you're going to war. They want you to think. They want you to do what you're over there to do. Whatever your job is, do it, and then go from that.
Hmm.
But when you got people that do a lot of things, and like for me, I know many uh, um, police officers here locally that they don't have it to be on the SWAT team or critical response team. Okay, they just don't have. They're just not that person. Okay,
Hmm.
yeah, they may be able to do patrol, and to be honest with you, a lot of those folks they may do the minimal amount of patrol work, and then they go to a desk job, and then they do that for however many amount of years, and then they retire. Okay, see that all the time. Okay, not everybody is built for that. Everybody ain't made for to go storm a
But
building.
I
Hmm.
want to make sure I'm clear on this because I want to make sure no one's watching or may see this thing later. I want to be clear. You don't have to be a member of law enforcement or a member of the military to be able to properly defend yourself
True.
in one of those chance encounters that may happen, man. I had my run in with a bad guy before I even owned a handgun, man, and that's what
Mhm.
ultimately chased me over to the other end of the spectrum and start looking into this handgun ownership, get trained with a firearm and be willing to fight for your life instead of just not even entertaining the thought that something like that could happen. As
Yeah.
you know, before I got robbed, man, I thought I was the last person in the world that would get robbed. I just didn't, in my head, see myself as someone that would get robbed. But guess what? Bad guys with guns, man,
Hmm.
they look at people differently. And you know what?
Hmm.
They said,
Yeah.
hey, it's two of us. We have guns. We don't think he has one. Let's go see.
Hmm.
Let's
They
try.
go when they look and see who's the weakest out of all of them, or who's the person that they'll get the least amount of resistance from, and then at that point, that's who they usually would choose. They're not gonna never choose the guy that they know that has an AR-15 or a Glock or whatever. They're gonna look and they're gonna size you up to see, okay, you know what? He don't have this or he doesn't have that. Let's go ahead and try him.
Hmm.
And
If they're
it's
not if they're not chemically induced, but I agree with you. Yes, usually the point of least resistance, is how
right.
it works. It's like a thing of nature, man. That's what lions and tigers and every
That's
other
why
creature out there does.
that's why all active shooters situations have two things in common. One, the shooter. Two, they're always going to be somewhere where they have the least amount of either little or no resistance.
Yeah. If they get resistance, they're going to give up at any kind of pushback.
Right.
That's when
And
bullets start flying in their direction, it becomes a completely different
think about
scenario.
what the guy from the shooter from Buffalo said. That's why he went out there and scouted the area to see, okay, well, damn, am I going somewhere in gang territory where, the Bloods and Crips or the El Rukins or whoever are going to shoot at me? No. He went and talked to that one guy and had a conversation. And during that conversation, I guarantee you, he was looking. He probably saw a lot of old people, a lot of young people, a lot of women. Okay. You're going to, when you go to the grocery store, Rick, this is your question, Rick, because I know Hank don't do this. When you go to the grocery store,
what's your question?
Okay.
When you go to the grocery store, do you see mostly men or women in the grocery store?
In the grocery store? I mean, like what type of like a supermarket or a corner convenience store?
Is it a bodega or a supermarket? Yeah, that's what we're
supermarket.
Excuse me, a bodega, not a bodega. It's not it's not bodega.
Only people from New York even use that word, man. Wasn't it a guy in a bodega in New York who I guess he got shoved to the ground, older dude, and
these people were beating him up. They stabbed him and everything, and he fought back and stabbed the guy who was doing it.
He stabbed the guy to death, right? And now he's
in prison.
Charges, right?
He's in prison.
Is he
and the
still
guy's,
locked up?
I think so. And the guy's girlfriend who stabbed him, the guy's girlfriend stabbed this guy, and they won't lock her up.
Oh.
So, but Rick, when you go to the grocery store, the supermarket, what do you see most?
Rick is in Detroit, so he goes to the bodega. But no,
okay,
I'm just kidding.
So
I go to the bodega, but we don't call it the bodega. You know what?
What is it in Detroit?
Talking about that story, refer to it as a bodega, and in that moment, I was like, man, I don't even know how to spell bodega, so I had to go look it up.
Okay,
so,
all right.
So wherever you call it, what do you see mostly in there when you go? Men or women?
Mostly women, man.
Exactly. Why do you think the Buffalo shooter chose where he went? Because he saw mostly women. Okay. Mostly black African American or black women. Okay, so we one thing that I've learned since I've been an instructor, we are the least, especially black women, the least armed in any race out there. Okay,
I don't know, man. If you say so, I mean, are we just talking about like people who are legally armed? Because man, there's a whole class of people out there that are armed and legally.
Well, let's just say let's say legally armed. Let's say legally armed.
My whole thing, if I'm out and about and I see someone, man, just on how I carry a gun everywhere, I make the blanket assumption that everybody's armed. You might not be, but I assume that you are.
I agree with you, but I agree with you.
I know for darn sure that I am.
Yeah, I agree with you, but one of the problems we have, like places in New York, is that, believe it or not, it's just the cops and the criminals. And if we're talking about women, if they aren't really hardcore criminals, if they're not gangbangers and stuff like that, they're not going to be armed. The average person that you see in New York City is not going to be armed with a gun. Not to say, I mean, I lived in New York City, and I know that guns exist there, that and people have guns that aren't carrying them legally. I get that. But the thing is, this is why what happened in the bodega, right? These bodega owners were not armed. If it was Florida, it would go a different way, because you go into like a gas station in Florida and mess around, you're gonna catch some rounds. So the problem with some of these places is the fact that they come down so much on people being armed. New York City right now, that's one of the things going around in the 2A news circles, that New York City has just stopped issuing CCWs altogether, even after the Supreme Court said, that what they were doing, they have no right to be a may issue state. They made it worse, piled a bunch of laws on top of that, and then just stopped issuing them altogether.
So I got something for both of you guys.
Mm-hmm.
Well, does that become a local issue in terms of the people have to elect the right person now that we have the Supreme Court reining in and saying, hey, on some level, you have to have some type of criteria. Now, it may not be as lenient as, say, in Florida. Like, how many hours of training is a Florida concealed carry class?
Mine is 2 hours.
Okay, so 2 hours. Okay, in Detroit, it's 8 hours, right?
Right.
You go someplace that just got concealed carry, like Chicago, theirs is 16. So if one of these traditional areas where the local power structure didn't want people armed, and they're actually going to listen to the Supreme Court and come up with some set criteria to start issuing concealed carry licenses, who knows? There might be a 25, 30-hour CPL
New York
class.
City did worse than that. I can't remember the hours, but New York City said not only did they put a ridiculous amount of hours, they also said you have to sit down in front of a judge before you do it. There's all these different things that they did. You have to get this training from a specific place. You have to give up your social media accounts, so that they can go through your social media accounts. Everything that they're doing goes against the Constitution and the Second Amendment and the ruling of the Supreme Court, but they're doing that anyway, and they are the problem. They're getting in the way of people being able to defend themselves. Things like that. I'm not saying that these things don't happen in Florida, because they do. But things like that happen less in places like Florida, where people have, better access, I should say, to the Second Amendment rights. Florida has put in gun control, and I'm not happy about that. But places where people have better rights, what you think is true. Most people that you see around here, that little old lady, she's probably armed. She's probably been shooting since she was a little kid. She'll hit you before that gun comes out of her purse or wherever it's at. But, in places like New York City, no, most people who are law-abiding, average people are not walking around with guns.
Right.
You know what? I'm here in Detroit, man, and you know what? I assume everybody's armed, man. And you know what? They might well be.
They could be. What was the question you wanted to ask, Rod Mills? Go ahead, because I've got something.
So
yeah.
Let's look at it like this.
Mm-hmm.
All right. If you are, let's just be honest. What political party do most African Americans or blacks follow?
They're Democrats.
I would say the vast majority of them are Democrats.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So where are you going with that?
Okay, but just bear with me. If the majority are Democrat, then that means that they're following a anti-gun leader. Am I correct or not?
Well, see, here's the thing. You're right, but here's the thing. Because they're following an anti-gun leader politically, that doesn't mean that they're not a gun owner and that they carry guns and don't have a carry permit.
It doesn't. You're right. But let's look at the average. The averages say that, you know what? That they're more likely are going to be anti-gun, don't want anything to do with guns. And I've learned that from being a trainer for the last, 7 years.
And regardless of that, they are empowering people to take guns away from them. So regardless, there's a lot of Democrats here in Florida. There's a lot of, probably most black people in Florida are Democrats, statistically. Right?
Right.
The thing is what's happening in that particular situation, I think the reason why it's relevant, people are free to believe whatever they want to believe, follow any party that they want to, as far as I'm concerned. But what you're doing, though, is empowering people that want to disarm you and then also incarcerate you. When these laws are created, the people who go to prison are the people who look like us, the most often behind these things.
And then, what about, let's look at, maybe they do some of them, let's say out of every 10 people, let's say 2 may have a gun. How many out of those 2 do you think actually carry the way we carry?
Right.
I don't know, man.
Not a lot.
I can tell you not a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I can tell you, Rick,
most of them don't have holsters, I'll say that. But,
exactly.
It's that's a lack of education and understanding, knowledge, wisdom, and understanding.
Let me say this.
But you know what? If you really think about it,
let me say this, Rick. Let me say this, Rick. In my classes, you know what? Where I come up with the most pushback on things, getting people to get the damn stuff that we need just to have a class. Okay, I have to tell people, hey, look, get your ammo. Well, how many rounds of ammo I need? I said a minimum 100 rounds. Guess what? Well, man, I got to go get I got to get all this ammo. I'm like, well, how much ammo you got right now? Well, I just got enough to go in my clips. you know, you see what I'm saying? So let's not even talk about trying to get. Let's not
disdain, man. You are really going to a place right now.
Well, I'm going to a place that
it's for a reason. It's for a reason. Yeah,
it's a reason because guess what?
It's not a lie.
What's the quote from the Bible? The people perish because of a lack of what?
Knowledge.
Man,
knowledge, wisdom, and understanding.
But
let me tell you, man.
Understand
a lot of people don't know everything that goes into this alternative lifestyle that we lead, man. It's not normal. This life we live is not normal, man.
We are unicorns.
Actually paying attention to what's happening to you, you know.
Our job is to normalize it. Our job is to normalize it. And listen, I think it's a good thing to talk about it because, you know, if you're afraid to talk about something, then you're definitely creating a fear of it. I don't think there's anything wrong talking about it. Our job, though, is to normalize it and get people to get off of that, you know? Like, how can you have a bunch of, I don't know, is it Jordans or Yeezys or whatever is popular these days, and then not have enough, you know, you should have way more ammo than you need. You know, you should have crates of ammo.
Man, but you know what? I've been in this alternative lifestyle of gun owner for a while, man, and typically it's a cyclical pattern. There would be times and eras of high availability of ammunition, and then, you know, depending on who wins an election, you know, laws and things go a different way, and people start buying it up and hoarding it, and then ammo being hard to come by, and so it's been usually feast or famine, but it's all cyclical. Let me tell you, the older you are and the more gray you have, you will see this and you will know this. So it's usually the younger folks or the people who just got into the gun community that are really shocked. But I'll tell you what, man, I am not used to $6 gas, man. How much is gas per gallon where you guys are?
Regular right now is about $4.30 where I'm at.
If you got a BMW, it's $5.50.
Yeah.
It's going to go back.
What is it in Detroit? What is it in Detroit? I'm not going to say it right. I'm protesting.
It's Detroit, man.
I'm protesting right now. Lola
man,
says the media.
You're trying to get this. You're trying to trigger me.
Yeah, push buttons all day long. Lola says the media makes it look like gun ownership.
Trigger me, man.
Yeah, Lola says the media.
It's too high, man. It's too high.
Yeah, it's too high. Listen, Lola says the media makes it look like gun ownership is simple and easy. We are going to take a little bit of a break here, and we're going to come back. There is something specific I want to talk to you guys about. I want to get your opinion of. So we're going to take this break and be right back. We wouldn't be able to keep the Who Moved My Freedom podcast going without the support of a DAO, or decentralized autonomous organization like TUSC Crypto. TUSC cryptocurrency is a firearm-friendly e-commerce option for online payment transactions, secured on the blockchain. So when you're in the crypto market, please consider TUSC, TUSC. So just for everyone's info out there, Armament and Axis says $4.39 here where he's at. I think he's in Ohio. Asper Warrior says $5 a gallon is good in Arizona. Shelly Fungus says $5 here. So there you go. What was it where you're at, Rick?
Man, it's like $5, but you know.
Okay. Yeah.
About a year and a half ago, it wasn't, right?
Yeah, let me.
But I'm not going to say anything about all that.
Let me do this because we were talking about police officers, a couple of things, and I want to get this came out in the news a couple of days ago, and I want to get you guys' opinion of it here. Let me actually put my phone up on the screen here. So, child hits and swears at cop in heartbreaking video from Minnesota. Shocking video footage has emerged of a young child repeatedly hitting a Minnesota cop who was there to arrest a murder suspect, calling the officer a bitch and telling his colleague to shut the fuck up. The clip released by Alpha News was filmed last week in St. Paul, a city that saw widespread rioting after the nearby police murder of George Floyd and manslaughter of motorist Dante Wright. And it goes on here to talk about this kid. There is video of this. This kid is like in his underwear. I think he looks like he's maybe 3 or 4 years old, and he's like hitting the cops and really carrying on. I don't know if you guys could see that here. And I think
see the clip, man. I
Yeah.
see the clip. The one thing that bothers me more so than the child acting that way is the people who decided to film it and then publish it and put it all over the internet. I really have a problem with that. Now, having said that, there's obviously a parenting issue there. You
Yeah,
know?
Oh, hell
there were people in the crowd. People in the crowd were going after the police officer. It's a black police officer. They were calling him an Oreo head and all kinds of stuff. This is I think the police officer in this case was professional, right? He didn't attack this kid who obviously can't hurt him. He didn't attack him or do anything.
Thank God he didn't do something traumatizing like put cuffs on him or something.
Yeah,
you know?
but they were there to arrest a murder suspect to try to make this neighborhood that these people live in better. And I agree with you. Like this really speaks to the people that are raising this kid like this. You know,
Where was his parents at?
probably the people recording it, as Rick is saying. You know,
Parenting, man. Let me tell you, that's a lifelong job. You guys are parents,
yeah,
Yep.
absolutely.
so I mean,
Yeah.
it's a lifelong commitment, man. Even when they grow up and they're grown, but then I guess you morph from a parent maybe into a parent / mentor, but that bond is forever. But yeah, I see that child performing that way. I mean, that child act that way for a reason, right? And that's
Because he seen it before.
parenting matters, man.
Yeah.
And it's not so much that because the child was having some physical interaction with the police. I'm just saying in general, man. Just in general, because I'm old enough, and you guys are old enough to know that certain behavior back in the day, man, there was consequences, and
Yeah.
Well,
I
Listen,
don't
we
think
got
they-
150 plus years between the three of us, so
repercussions and consequences.
yeah.
Man, there was some consequences and repercussions behind certain
Yeah.
behavior.
And
man.
I don't believe in abusing children and all that kind of stuff, man.
Whoa. What is there a difference between discipline and abuse?
There is, and this is,
or is it all abuse?
yeah, this is the thing. I mean, I raised my children, and I would say that I was, medium strict, with my kids, very tough on my kids. But yes, in my time when I was a kid, when I was that kid's age, I could tell you that my mom would have beaten my ass right there in the street, right there.
Right.
Mother,
I have a word for you. My word is ditto, right? But you know what? If people in our age bracket generation, raise kids the way we were raised, the kids would be better off for it and become productive citizens. But you know what?
So-
you probably would get arrested and put in jail. So
So guess what, guys? Think about this. I took a class. Not a class. I actually did a presentation with Masad Ayub. Okay, last
yeah,
week.
Moss.
Yeah, Mas. Yeah. So,
Oh,
Mas,
you guys say Moss. Oh, that's nice.
yeah, or Mas.
You haven't met him?
No, I've never met him. He lives somewhere around here, but no, I've never met him.
Yeah, he's in Live Oak.
No,
So-
man, he is one of the coolest guys in the Second Amendment community, man.
That's what I hear.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
what I hear. Yeah, absolutely. I'm a fan.
So Mas had a situation where we were talking about respect for the police. See, the one thing with respect comes from in the home. Okay, think about it like this. Let's look at the most recent high-profile black murder by police. Okay, why first and foremost are you evading the police? Okay, because my thing is this: you can't chum the water with dead fish and bait and blood, and when you jump in the water, the shark bites you and you want to blame the shark. No, you put yourself in that situation. You shot at the police. You were running from the police. You had a damn ski mask from the police. When you pulled over, understand you left the car running and the car rolled away and you eluded police. So you know what? A lot of that stuff, man, you bring on yourself. Now, one thing Mass brought to my attention was I wasn't aware that Philando Castile was high when that situation happened. And also the things that what we didn't know was this. They said, well, he was going for his wallet. Well, his wallet, when they found the wallet, it was nowhere near where he was going for. The only thing that was near where he was going for was the gun.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about Trayvon Martin.
I didn't hear those details, but
Yeah,
I
didn't know it either.
I know
But
the
listen to this.
community.
Hear me out. Trayvon Martin. When we see Trayvon Martin's picture, what do we see? That little boy picture, right? Trayvon Martin was 6'3" and could beat the average man's behind because he'd been in so many fights. His mother, the reason why he was in Sanford was his mother could not control him. He was out of control. He was in a game. He was doing all these other bad things. You see what I'm saying? That's the stuff that when the news put on there, they're going to say, oh, he's just a nice little young kid, and all he had was Skittles and an Arizona drink. That wasn't it. That wasn't everything. That's, matter of fact, that's like maybe 15% of the whole story. But that is what the news wants you to think. And when I saw the real picture, matter of fact, they have a close camera picture of him when he was in the store. This dude is real, man. This dude is like, he looked like he was an NBA player. He wasn't that little kid that you would see on the picture when you Google Trayvon Martin. That ain't the picture. That ain't who he was. That was years before.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So my thing is this. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna let Rick has something to say here. Go ahead, Rick.
Man, there's a lot of cases, a lot of high-profile incidents that have occurred, man. You have to look at each and every one of them and assess, what was done and why it was done. But man, it's a really sad thing, man, that we have, in a way, man. I think that we are in a situation now, man, where we are really at a point where we have to figure out how we are going to go forward, man, in terms of, are we going to, these are themes that relate to what we're talking about. Are we going to make society a better place? Are we going to be responsible for ourselves? When we have children, are we going to make them productive citizens? How are we going to raise them? How involved are we going to be in our community, in terms of our communities and how they relate to law enforcement? I mean, no one person is an island. I mean, we all are connected.
It takes two to tango as well. I think a lot of these situations that we're talking about are perfect storms that happen between both people. I think obviously I don't want to bring up the old things that have happened either, but we're talking about it. I think Trayvon Martin is a perfect example of a perfect storm. That both people insisted on going down the wrong path and got into a fight. I mean, we're grown men and we're having a conversation and we're not fighting. But when you have people just start going down that path and they don't want to back down for whatever reason it is, this is how you wind up where you wind up. And it's because as a society we don't know how to deal with each other and how to be respectful of each other on both sides. Now, overall, I believe, one of the things is, one of my videos on YouTube that's big, even now it's big. Lola was just telling me the other day that there's a bunch of comments and all that kind of stuff on the video where I got pulled over, and that was several years ago. At the end of the day, there's a lot of people that said, oh, those cops had no right to do this, to do that, and I agree, but I was not interested in proving to them who's in the right and who's in the wrong at that moment. That was not. I was more interested in getting home to my children than doing all of that. Even if those guys wanted to arrest me, you know. And when my father, who lives in New York City, saw that, the thing that was amazing to him was that he was like, I can't believe that you got pulled over and you had a Glock on you and they didn't arrest you. And that's because this is Florida. So at the end of the day, they didn't arrest me, and I went home to my family. And as a matter of fact, a friend of mine that was a police officer in that department is the one who told me, hey, you know, you can get that video, and this is how you get it. This is where you go. This is how much you pay. This is what you do, and they will have to give it to you. And he said, I want you to get it, and I want you to make a video about it. And because I did that, those guys actually got retrained. And that's the way things are supposed to happen. And even the cops on that in that particular department made fun of the guy involved in that thing until he left the department. Now, the opposite of that was me, you know, acting all crazy and being in the right and then winding up dead. But those kinds of things happen when both people insist on going down a path and doing something. And that's the thing that we need to learn in society. Right? If those guys were trying to kill me, then yes, absolutely, I'm going to try not to die, if that was their intention. You know, if I realize, like, hey, these cops don't give a shit, they want to kill me, then I would try to do something to stay alive. But if we're not talking about that, it's not necessary. And I think this is the big thing that's happening to us right now as people. I'm not saying you have to give up your rights. I'm all for fighting for your rights and all that. But you have to understand the situation that you're in and be able to evaluate that and ask yourself whether or not this is the right moment to prove some shit.
You know, a good friend of mine is an attorney, and many times in the past he would do the legal section for my concealed carry class. And one of the things that he would say to the students in the course is, when you're out there on the street and you're having interactions with law enforcement, you know, you give that officer his due, his respect, you be in compliance regardless of whatever shenanigans that he's up to. I mean, when he's out there, that's pretty much his environment. Mm-hmm. If there are some things that were done that were not proper and need to be addressed and followed up on, then yeah, that's what your attorney is for. And your attorney becomes the guy in that proper environment, which is the courtroom, to get your redress. But trying to show up and beat the police officer on the street or try to one-up him, that's not a road that you probably want to go down. And I'm not being an apologist or a suffragist for the police. I'm not. They're human beings just like I am. And they have families and they're trying to go home. And yeah, I believe the overwhelming majority of them are good. But man, in any profession, there's some bad apples in there. And who knows, you might come across one of them. If you come across one of them, you're going to have to decide how you're going to interact with them. You know, are you going to engage in a series of activities based on his response? The two of you mutually go to a place neither one of you probably want to go to.
Once you start going down that path in anything, this is how, you know, in a road rage incident, this is what happens. You know, you always want to be the person in control. You know, you always want, that's the thing. Like, once you lose your mind and you start, like, you're now just mad, you're not actually observing the situation that's happening around you. So even if it goes wrong, you know, you're not in your proper mind. I would rather be in my right mind and reacting to that. If that person is really that mad that they're going to try to hurt me or kill me, I would rather be in the proper mind to evaluate what's happening and react properly to that, instead of just two mad people who meet and just go at it and no one knows what happens until the dust is settled.
The most tragic of those incidents, man, you could actually do a Google search and find quite a few of them, is the road rage incident in which both drivers get out of their cars armed and kill each other, right? You had one bad day, you had an argument, and you both pull over and you both shoot each other and you both die. And I'm like, man,
you don't even know each other. Yeah.
Did it really have to end like that? You know, and I've had some knuckleheads on the road, man. You know, behind you, leaning on the horn, acting crazy. You know what? I could escalate, right? But then if I escalate, then that's a possibility that they're going to escalate. And at some point in time, someone's just going to have to let it go, or this whole incident is going to go to a place neither one of you wants it to go to.
Yeah, absolutely. Let me just say this real quick here. I see Asper Warrior says tomorrow's his birthday. Happy birthday, Mike. Shout out to you. Yeah, listen, you know how many times growing up in New York City I was not necessarily technically in the right, and I came across cops and I had to deal with them, and it's how you talk to people. And I've been in situations that I could have been in like big trouble if I had an attitude or whatever, but meanwhile I was just talking to those guys.
Well, I
And
mean,
when they
that's
realize they're dealing with
it,
someone reasonable, they don't have to go there. You don't make them have to go there where they're like, okay, get out of the car. Let's see what you got on you or what you're doing.
I hear everything you're saying, but see, I come across too many people that have a slightly different opinion, right? Like,
Mm-hmm.
so our county clerk here in Wayne County is doing a horrific job in terms of processing these concealed carry permits, right? So,
Mm-hmm.
so there are some people who are tempted and actually follow through and carry while they shouldn't because their application hasn't been processed and they haven't gotten their permit yet. And
Mm-hmm.
there's a record number of people doing that. Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
now we have law enforcement pulling these people over and they're finding out that they have these guns and that that they did apply, but you know what? They are not afforded any courtesy. It's another notch on that officer's belt. He's got another felony arrest.
Mm-hmm.
No one cares about the environment in which these people feel, so
Mm-hmm.
empowered to go out and buy a gun and get a concealed pistol license. So they're worried about, being a victim, and the system is just slapping them upside the face. And now you're going to get a felony, and now you can't legally own a gun, let alone get a
Yeah.
carry permit, man. And
I
it's
think
like
that's
one of the most
horrible.
tragic
That's
things.
what New York is doing. Okay? That's what New York is doing, and it's horrible. And what they're afraid of is if they make it easier for law-abiding people in New York City to be armed and to be able to protect and defend themselves, they're afraid that everyone's going to do it in New York City. All the law-abiding people are going to do it. The cops are
What's
already
wrong with
doing it. The
law-abiding
criminals,
citizens having guns?
there's nothing wrong with it, but it not to me and not to you or not to Rod Mills, but to these people there's something very wrong with it, and these very people have armed people protecting them. And this is why the people of New York have to do something about this. They have to get rid of these people. Any leader that's trying to declaw you, detooth you, defang you is they don't have your best interests in heart. And but it's up to the folks there to get rid of these people and stop re-electing them all the time, man. It's shameful.
And look,
You're doing it to
I've
yourself.
been stopped by police officers in my day, man. And I'll tell
Mm-hmm.
you this: in my gray age, as I am now, I don't get stopped probably at all. But when I was younger and less gray, it
Mm-hmm.
happened on a regular, ongoing basis, man. And I'll say, in the time since I've had a CPO, yeah, they pulled me over,
Mm-hmm.
probably because they profiled me. But you know what? They cut me loose, even though I may have done something wrong. But you know what? Hey, I'm gonna
Yeah.
give you a courtesy because
We're gonna take a break.
The Who Moved My Freedom podcast is made possible by our partners at 2A Commerce. Veteran owned and with over 20 years experience, 2A Commerce is the leader in custom e-commerce and web application development in the shooting sports industry. Clients include major brands such as Guard Dog Body Armor, Sylvan Arms, AccuFire Technologies, The Tactical Games, Warrior Knife Company, and yours truly, Hank Strange. Visit 2A Commerce and support this show by supporting them. Once again, visit the number 2A commerce.com.
All right, let me just shout out some people out there. Cruiseman says he has orientation for his new job tomorrow. Congratulations
All right,
on that.
congratulations, good luck in advance.
Yeah, man, that's awesome. That's awesome. And I want to see, is there anything else going on out there? Shelly Funga says, once I became concealed carry, I ignore road rage 100%. Period. End of story. Not worth my time. Yeah. If it comes to you and you're backed into a corner, then this is why you conceal carry. But you don't want to be there. Um, there's people out there wishing, for stuff to happen, and
I
no
mean,
one
if
no one really
if a
wants that.
person is a jerk, they're going to be a jerk behind the wheel in an automobile. You're going to run into one of them sooner or later.
Hmm.
The thing is that you know what? Be the bigger, better person. Just suck it up and pull
Hmm.
over and let them go on about their
Yeah.
business. Because
Yeah.
once you escalate, now they're in a place where they're going to escalate, right?
Hmm.
And well, you've escalated once, you might as well keep going down that road, man. And
Hmm.
eventually, had someone just let it go,
Hmm.
whether that person was in the right or not, just let it go, man. And you'll probably forget the thing ever happened,
Yeah.
later on that day.
Absolutely. Yeah. I totally 100% agree. Let me just do this. Shelly Fungus gave us a couple of bucks here, so let me shout out Shelly Fungus real quick. He gave us $20. He says, "Thanks for the show, Hank, Lola, Rick, and Rod, and to all chat bros. Love you guys in a manly kind of way."
Oh man, all right, in a manly kind of way. Okay, I
I'll take
appreciate I
it.
appreciate the shout out. Okay.
I'll take it. And then also, let me see. I want to make sure because we're having a good conversation here. So obviously, burning through time. I just want to throw up the event again, Rick. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be there to see the lovely ladies of Detroit. But do you want
Man,
to?
I am deeply depressed and disappointed, man, because you know what? I listened to you tell me, Rick, last year. You said, Rick, can't do it, man. But you know what? I got you next year. And you know what?
I don't know if I
I'm
said all of that. I'm pretty sure
Man,
I hedged my bets a little bit.
you probably didn't have all of the enthusiasm that I brought to bear, but
Uh-huh.
man, you definitely left me with the impression that you would be in the house, man. But that's okay. That's
Yeah.
okay. But you know what? I was glad when I went down to the Florida Carry thing. What was that, last year? And you and
Was that?
Lola were there, and I was
Yeah.
able to see you in the flesh and be like, "What's happening?"
Yeah, it's good
And
to. It
actually,
was
when I
good.
saw you, I was like, "Yeah, you are a Floridian. Isn't
Yeah.
that the term, Floridian?" Yeah.
Technically, technically, yes.
Well, what do they call you guys?
No, that's it. No, that's it. That's the term.
Floridians.
Yeah, Floridians. And by the way, when you saw me, I had my van. That event. There was a big parking lot, not a parking lot, but like a big empty lot across from that where everyone parked.
Right.
Yeah, my van was parked over there. If you think back.
Well, I mean, if this van was as fancy as it is now, you didn't like, "Hey, everyone, come, let's tour my
No, come on.
van."
I don't
I
flex
mean,
like that. It's not. It was.
but you flexed now.
It is what it is now because we were talking about it before. It is.
No,
It
you
was
were
there.
talking about it before.
Yeah, I was saying I was talking about it before.
Man, you know what? You are the
We were there.
coolest guy.
Lola and I had just got
I'm
back
sitting
from
here.
somewhere out of state.
I'm trying to push your buttons, man, and
Right.
you still just
No,
smooth.
man. No, no. See,
You don't get
you're
ranky.
from
You
Detroit.
don't get ranky.
I'm from New York City. It's gonna take a lot more. It's gonna take a lot more to push my buttons. But tell people though, before we get into something else here, I want to know, talk about whatever you guys want to talk about. But just tell the folks out there about your event again. I'm gonna put it up here full on the screen. I invite people to go
This,
check into it.
this is the 11th annual Free Women's Shooting Event here in the year 2022. It is an event that I came up with number of years ago, man, in which I saw a very distressing incident on the news. It concerned itself with a woman's body that had been sexually assaulted. She was raped, she was killed, and her body was discarded in the street. And I came up with this event, man, to give women some firearm training. That's my solution, right? There are probably other solutions to this problem of people assaulting and killing women, man. But you know what? That's not my wheelhouse. My wheelhouse is guns and teaching people how to use them for personal protection and self defense. And so I came up with this event, man. And To introduce women into this field, I've removed all the barriers to entry. You don't need money. You don't need safety gear. I'll have it for you.
You don't
Glasses,
need ammo, so it's not like Rod
firearm,
Mills. Rod Mills makes you
ammo.
have to get
You don't
ammo.
need a target. All you have to do is register. When registration period opens, 1 week before the event, on the 23rd, register. You'll get an e-ticket. I don't want to collect info. All I need is your name and your email address. When you go to the venue, it's going to be on your appointed day at the appointed range. You can either print it out if you own a home printer. I don't even own a printer anymore. You know, the ink is so expensive, and you can just send your
Yeah, who owns
print stuff to
printers?
the print shop, right? Who owns
Yeah,
a printer now?
probably
But
Rod Mills. Rod Mills, I bet you Rod Mills has a printer in his house.
or you can just show the ticket on your cell phone. It's
Hmm.
a nice, orderly process. You're going to come in, get a range safety briefing, and have a shooting experience. And based on your
Hmm.
participation, you may decide that you want to continue to walk this path to empowerment and personal protection, and protect you and your family and your home from bad guys. Because there's a certain segment of the population that, believe it or not, they really are evil. It
Hmm.
exists.
Yeah.
Hey, Rick, do you have anybody sponsoring you?
Yeah, man, I got some sponsors. Thanks for reminding me that I should give them their flowers and their
Hmm.
due. The gun ranges for sure, right? Recoil Firearms and the other gun range, man. I'm having a moment right here.
Is it on?
Uh,
Is it on the? Is it on this Facebook thing?
yeah, it's Top Gun Shooting Sports.
Okay.
GOA is a sponsor. NRA is a sponsor. Most important sponsor I'm going to throw out there are all of the firearms instructors who are donating their time and actually making this event work. I've had the sponsor. I had a sponsor who actually is allowing me to use like a number of his firearms. Doug Holloway from ATEI. If any of you are familiar with his business, he does a lot of customizations on firearms and things of that sort. But yeah,
It
man, it's
says.
been an all hands on deck. And here's the other part. I am thankful to you, Hank, for allowing me to be on your show, man,
Oh, you're
because
very welcome.
it's another place that I'm going to be on the internet, and hopefully there'll be some information in the title and in the tags and in the description, and people might just bump into it on
Hmm.
the internet and say, "Hey, this is something I want to check out." Or even if you're not a Michigander or a Michiganian, maybe you know someone that is, and you can send this link to your family and friends and say, "Hey, go check out this event that Rick's doing." I want
Absolutely.
to harness the power of the internet to let people know what we're doing. The 11th annual LAID, Legally Armed in Detroit Free Women Shooting Event.
Absolutely. And someone can put on a mohawk wig and show up on my behalf,
Yeah, yeah,
and I will appreciate. I would appreciate
Hey,
it.
hey,
Um,
Rick,
yeah.
I want to say
What?
something for you, Rick.
What's that?
Next year, I with my company, Scorched Farms Training, I always believe in doing charity work as well. Next year, if you would have me as one of the instructors there, I'll
Uh
be
huh.
more than glad to come on my own dime and come up there and help you out if you want.
Hey man, thank you. And you know what? You'll be warmly received. Warmly received. Just don't
Okay.
Hank Strong me and then don't show up, man.
Oh no 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 no
he's
no.
doing
When
it
I
for the. He's
hey
doing it for the Detroit chicks. Come on.
no hey no well no on the real though
Oh,
on the real
he's got some
hey
ulterior
Rick
motives in mind.
no
Yeah,
no no
His
it's
no
good. It's
no
still
actions
good
no
though.
show
It's all
motives
good.
hey,
of
hey
true
Rick,
sincerity.
I'm gonna tell you no. When I put my company on this, when I put my company brand on this, hey,
Uh huh.
you can assure that I'm definitely gonna do that. I mean,
Man,
and
you
I'm all
already let us know that you like the women from Detroit. They
Yeah,
seem
Well,
to have made an impression on me.
that's outside of the company brand now. When I'm talking
Yeah.
about the company brand, hey, if you want me there, I'll be there.
Yeah.
I
Now
get
he
my
might
own
he might take this hat off though after the course. He might take that
What's wrong
company
with him
hat
taking
off
his hat off?
after the course. No, I'm saying then it's a
No,
different story.
No, but Rick, hey, let me know the information. How far in advance do you get your information for this event?
You know what? There are people who are already asking me when is it going to be next year, man. And you know what? I'm not going to say that I'm riled up by it, but man, I'm under so much stress right now just to make sure this thing happens in 2 weeks and 2 days like it's supposed to. I'm not even thinking about next year right now. I don't even
Well,
know. I don't even know. You know what? I'm going to have to start over from zero and acquire
It's
resources to stock a whole new
yeah,
event.
it's tough.
It's a lot of work, a lot of phone calls, a lot of conversations.
Right.
It's a lot of things that go on behind the scenes to do this thing, you know?
Yeah, it's
well,
tough to do.
that's not a lot of conversation that you're
Yeah.
gonna need with me. All you got to do is say, "Hey, Rod, I want you here. Give me
Hey,
the
Rob,
date."
I want you here. I don't know when it's going
Yeah,
to be.
when you
but
get the
man,
date.
So listen,
you
I
ain't
just
right.
I just want to
When
say
you get the
this.
date.
Hold on 1 second. I want to say this. So I was looking at the thing here, and the event takes place at Recall Firearms and Top Gun Range. And then the other thing that I do want to share with you guys here, I'm going to go to my camera. Shelly Fungus gave us $50. He says donation towards Rick's event. Great job. Looking out
Oh,
and
thank you
helping
very
Rick
much.
out. Good on you. So there you go. But that's going all into my pockets, just so you guys know. But yeah, thanks. Anyway, no, I'm gonna have to actually collect that money and then either send it off to Rick or maybe help Rod get up to Detroit next year. So
Well, hey, Rick, just give me a date, and I will be there. You can count
Man,
on
let me
me.
tell you, as soon as I know, as a matter of fact, while we're here using all of this technology, what's your social media platform of choice? Where do you spend the most time?
Probably Facebook or
Here you go.
Instagram. Either one.
Go to facebook.com/Detroit CCW. Do it right now. Send me
Rick,
a request right now,
Rick,
and I'll approve it right now.
Rick, I already sent you a friend request earlier today. It's there waiting
Oh
on you.
yeah,
man, let me tell you,
and so
Rick
for
has been.
anyone, this is Rod Mills' Facebook for anyone who wants to follow it. I'm just gonna throw it up here, Rod Mills, if that's okay with you. Lots of people who support Rod Mills, or even in the chat right now, there's some people who are on there, and Rod's pretty active on the social medias. Is always throwing up some good stuff out there. So there you go for anyone who wants to support Rod Mills, and I'll do whatever you want to do with that $50 from Shelly Fungus, Rick. So either
Rod
we
Mill?
Rod R-O-D
Oh, Rod. Okay.
Rod, yeah, R-O-D
Mills,
M-I-L-L-S.
yes, like the singer Stephanie Mills.
Okay.
Yeah.
And like blue shirt, white pants.
No,
Hold on. Let me put his. Here's what his Facebook looks like right there.
Oh yeah, that guy.
Yeah. Owner/instructor of Scorched Firearms Training. So there you go. He's a good. I'll vouch for Rod Mills. He's a good dude. He's been supporting us for a while here, supporting me and supporting lots of people in the community. So
Okay, I'm looking at your profile page, man. And I don't see where it says like ad. You got like
Cruise
that-
Man said I saw my face. There's a lot of people's faces on that thing I just showed.
How come you don't have like an ad button on your page, man?
I do.
Well, it's
Yeah, I'm
not
not sure.
showing.
I don't know. Have you updated your Facebook?
So Rick,
Right.
what I'll do
This
is
weird.
I don't know.
Rick.
42 Chilled is putting in the chat a link to Rick Ector's event, so anyone who wants to click on it, go click through that.
So Rick, when I look at your Facebook page, it looks like you got a Detroit Tigers jersey on.
Man, it's Detroit, man. It's Detroit. It's
Hold on.
Detroit.
Where is the air? Here we go.
And you were a little slow on the alarm, man.
I know.
What was you saying, Rob?
Shelly, hold on. Shelly Fungus says, I don't do Facebook, guys. Otherwise, I would have donated via Facebook. When we get that $50, I'll send it on to. I'll send it on to you, Rick, or.
She can go over to Twitter, twitter.com/Detroit CCW.
Okay,
she can go to Instagram. Guess what?
Shelly Fungus is a dude. Shelly Fungus is a dude. But
CCW.
Shelly
YouTube.
Fungus.
It's YouTube/Detroit CCW.
Shelly Fungus is a dude. But yeah.
Oh.
He's a dude. Yeah, he just likes Shelly Fungus for whatever reason. He likes that name.
Okay.
So this dude's named Shelly anyway. So there you go.
I mean, there's some guys out there named Marion, right?
Yeah, I think that's Rod
Tracy,
Mills' middle name.
Tracy?
What's your middle name, Rod Mills? Do you have one? Fred.
Yeah.
Rodimus Fred Mills?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Or is it Rodney Fred Mills?
Rodney.
Wait. Or how about Roderick?
Yeah. What's wrong with Rodney? Is it Roderick?
Just Rod.
It's just Rod. Come on now.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'll take it. There you go. Give us the Twitter again. I'm gonna let you do it again.
Twitter
here.
is Detroit. Excuse me. It's Twitter.com/Detroit CCW.
Yeah. Shelly Fungo says he does YouTube and Utreon. So I don't know if you have some. I think you are on YouTube. You're Rick Ector on YouTube.
I do have a YouTube channel, but I don't know if I put up a donation link there.
Oh, okay.
Send me an inbox, or better yet, my user. Well, shoot, you don't have that. Well,
yeah.
Look, man, when there's a will, there's a way.
We'll figure it out. We'll get it sorted out. There you go, Rod. Would you, before we, we've got like 3 minutes here before we start wrapping up. Was there anything that you wanted us to talk about? Anything you want to tell the people about out there?
For those that are in the Northeast Florida area, this weekend I will be doing a mass concealed weapons certification class in conjunction with Ken Jefferson, who is running for sheriff of Duval County. So he came out and selected me out of all the firearms instructors in this area.
Cool.
He asked me to come and do it for him. Mm-hmm. And so, yes, I will be doing that this upcoming Saturday at the Scottish Rites Auditorium here in Jacksonville, Florida.
Is that on your Facebook? It's probably way down on your Facebook. Jeez, let me see. I think you did post that on there, but you post so much stuff on Facebook, man.
It was posted yesterday, I think.
Yesterday?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. Then it should be on top of your Facebook here. I'm looking at your Facebook page. I don't see it yesterday.
No. Keep going the other way. Keep going.
Down.
Keep going. You're not even going to take it.
I stole that one from you earlier today.
How much stuff do you put in a day? This isn't yesterday. This is all today. All this is it here?
Keep going.
Oh, jeez, man. How much stuff do you post on social media?
There it is.
Oh, there you go.
There it is, right there.
Jeez. Rod Mills. How much
what
stuff?
What he has to do was put his class about every 4 posts.
Yeah. That's a lot of... Rod Mills puts a lot of stuff. I want to go back. There's a part I want to go back to.
To the woman that didn't have her... she was catching all the recoil.
There we go.
Yeah.
This is where you do...
That's bad recoil. That should probably hurt. What caliber is that?
Oh, that's not good for the boobies.
Yeah.
That is not... Your boobie is not a stock. It's not a recoil device.
But
what
she
is
shot
happening?
it multiple times, so obviously it didn't hurt. So I guess.
Oh, that's probably silicone then. That's maybe.
We wouldn't be able to keep the Who Moved My Freedom podcast going without the support of manufacturers like Safety Harbor Firearms. SHF is a quintessential family-owned small business, totally representative of the American dream. Safety Harbor Firearms is a Florida-based manufacturer of the compact entry stock and the SHTF 50 upper for an AR-15 lower. Also, SHF happily delivers on your Sten gun parts needs. So don't forget to check out stenparts.com and safetyharborfirearms.com.
Yeah, as usual, I got caught out there looking at the boobies and getting distracted and totally missed that last break. But
Lola doesn't get mad at you looking at stuff like that, making those references?
I've always been like this.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I've always been like this. So, I mean, does she get mad? Okay, the proper answer to that is I'm just telling you, every single day, I spend every single day of my life where my wife is mad at me about something. So, I mean,
she's mad at you every single day.
Yeah, I guarantee you that. Yeah, every day there's something that I do wrong. Typically in the morning when Lola wakes up, I'm okay. You know what I'm saying? But somewhere along the day, I say something that's out of line, or whatever.
I mean, after, but you never make the same error twice, right?
No, I don't do it twice. I make it like 3, 4, 5, 10 times.
Man, I was trying to work with you, man, and give you like some latitude.
Rick, I don't have shame. I have no shame. This is my problem.
Dang, man, you don't have any feelings. You're like one of those, what they call those people? They don't feel emotions.
No, I do have emotions. Come on now. I'm a deep, sensitive man. So we didn't even really show off any guns here, and we're about to wrap it up.
I mean, how much gunplay do you have during a typical episode?
Oh, we sometimes show guns, but we were having a great conversation today, so I mean, it wasn't necessary. So I am.
This is like an over-the-top reaction from you having to change vendors, right? Because you did something with a gun and they kind of punished you for it, and you were like, "No, I'm going to punish you."
No, YouTube made a policy more than a year ago. I think it's almost like 2 years at this point. YouTube made a policy where they would not allow us to go live and handle guns. This was their way of fixing the gun problem. So they decided to go after the people like us that are not. We're not the people going live and shooting people or hurting ourselves or anyone. But they decided to go after us, and so if just picking this up on YouTube would result in your live getting pulled. So we were doing it from YouTube for a while, but Utreon came along and allowed us to go live and also handle guns, and so that's why we do it over here. But it's fun, sometimes it's just it's a fun, cool thing to do and all that kind of stuff, to show off some guns. So, I don't feel like there's anything super wrong with that.
No, there's nothing wrong with it. It's kind of like you're like thumbing your nose at them, like, I'm doing it without you.
Yeah.
I don't really think that you have moved on from them. I think there's still some anger and resentment.
A little bit. There's a little bit. I actually when they.
Because here's the thing. Let me tell you, the opposite of, let's say, joy and happiness is like anger, right? They are like really so closely aligned to one another.
Joy,
really,
and pain.
They're on the.
You sound like Raw Bass. That's a Raw Bass song right there.
Because let me tell you, the opposite of love and hate, man, it's like no feeling or emotion whatsoever at all, man. Because if you were truly beyond it and past it, it'd be like blah. Next. What else is there out there? Like, I've moved on,
Yeah. No, I'll never get over it. I
don't think you're there yet, man.
No, definitely not.
I mean, they did or said something to you, I think that really
they deleted my channel. That's one of the things. They deleted.
How many videos was on the channel?
They deleted my channel when I had 60,000 subscribers. I've always had more than 1,000 videos on my channel, and when I got it back, I'm like 120,000 subscribers. But right now they have my channel blocked. So if I put up a video, they limit even how many views I could get. There's a lot of crazy things that they do to gun guys.
So
on YouTube.
there's no way back from that. That's like a permanent throttle to it.
Well, it's
You
them.
don't, or they don't like.
They've
Like you
literally
probably
turned
be
on
good.
switches. They've turned on switches to block out. Like I could put up a video and share it on my social media for the gun stuff, which I know, like when I do the van stuff, I share stuff and I could see the numbers go up, and I could do that same thing with the gun stuff and share it all over my social media, and it doesn't go up by one. It won't go up by one view. So there are gun guys that they do things, and there's really not a lot you can do once you get on their radar short of deleting your entire channel. So it's just one of those things, and if they're going to be like that, it's not going to make me back down. So yes, I'm definitely not over it. I'm not the getting over it kind of person.
Oh, I get it. I get it. I get it. I get it, man. It's like,
Yeah.
David and Goliath, and you're like up for the challenge.
Yeah,
right?
man.
You're gonna like show them. Okay.
Yeah, they're not taking me out of the game. I could easily just stop doing gun videos and put all my energy into the van stuff, for example. I'll actually be pretty well off. But no, man, they're not. They won't make me quit. You know. Yeah, I have to be dragged out of this, man. This from my cold dead hands.
My cold dead hands, right?
Yeah, listen, we got to wrap this up. It was really a great conversation. Really glad that you got to meet my friend Rod Mills. I hope you guys communicate after this.
Oh yeah, man.
do lots of
You know
good
what?
stuff.
If you don't make it, he's coming to Detroit
Yeah.
next year, man.
Rod Mills is going to be wearing a mohawk when he comes down there. Okay, and so therefore he's representing the Who Moved My Freedom podcast when he gets
I'm gonna
down
have
there.
juices and berries in my hair.
Juices and berries. Just natural juices and berries. Okay, so listen.
Well, look, man, for the record, man, look,
Mm-hmm.
again, I'm glad to be here, man. It was cool to hang out and, have a ball and get some conversation in,
Yeah.
It's been great, man, and thank you.
Yeah, so here's what we're going to do to wrap up the show. I'm going to give you guys a chance here to tell everyone how they could support you and all that kind of stuff. I'm going to run in the end, and then we're going to come back. And obviously, Rick, since you're our special guest tonight, we're going to have you giving us words of wisdom. But I'm going to start with you guys telling everyone how to support you. I'm going to start with Rod Mills. If you could tell the folks, where do they go, how do they support you, communicate with you, etc.
Okay, if you want to follow me on Facebook, please don't follow me on my personal page. Follow me on Scorched Firearms Training page. Also on Instagram, that is Scorched_firearms. So, hey, those are the two that I use mostly of anything. And then my website, you can actually, if you
Go center. There you go, right there. Back up a little.
There you go.
Back up a little bit.
Back up a little.
Yeah, right there.
Okay.
That's good. Right there.
Yeah,
Okay.
if you guys want to contact me directly, you can hit that QR code, and that will be how you can contact me directly. Okay.
Okay, awesome. Rick Ector, same question. How can the folks support you, communicate with you?
Let me tell you, I have made it my business to be easy to find, right? If you look for Rick Ector anywhere, you'll probably find me out on social media, whether it's on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, 2,300 videos on YouTube. Man, I'm all over the place. Just look for me, you'll find me. My biggest thing that I'm really focusing on is this free women's shooting event that's going to happen the last 2 days of this month, July 30th and the 31st. Our goal is to empower a lot of women with the gift of personal protection and to give them a free range safety briefing and a free shooting lesson. And Hank, it's been real, man. Thank you for having me on the show.
You're welcome.
Rod, it was great meeting you, man. So when I figure out where you sent that request, I'll definitely get at it and add you. I still got some room, man. You cool guy, man. And you're coming down to Detroit next year.
It's up.
So,
It's up. It's
And
up.
I'm wearing my Michael Jordan jersey.
It's all the way up. Listen, big thanks to you, Rick Ector, man. Thanks so much for what you do. You know, there's lots of folks in the gun community that
is
appreciate
Lola
it.
listening to the show right now?
She probably is. Yes, she says she's gonna
Hey,
send.
Lola, thanks for having me.
Yeah, Lola says she's gonna send you that money from Shelly Fungus. But I
Okay.
wanted to make sure I thanked you for everything that you do. Of course, Rod Mills, you also do a lot for everyone. You've done a lot for us and lots of other folks out there. So big appreciation for both of you guys.
Are you going to GRPC this year?
I don't even know what that is.
You haven't been to GRPC?
No, I have no idea. What is it?
The Gun Rights Policy Conference.
Oh, okay. No, I've never been there. Never been
Where's
there.
that?
Is it in Detroit?
It's in a different city every year. It rotates.
okay. Oh, okay. So listen, I'm going to run in the end, and we're going to come back. Rick, you are going to give us words of wisdom on the way out here. Let me run the end in
words
here
of
for a
wisdom.
second. You got a couple of seconds to come up with it. Let's run it. All right, guys, thanks so much for hanging out with us here. We will see you guys back here next week. Big shout out to all the people who are listening to us on audio. We appreciate you guys. You can get this audio podcast anywhere you get audio podcasts from. So we appreciate everyone listening to it, including the folks who are part of the Firearms Radio Network. Big shout out to all those people. Rick Ector, Rod Mills, big thanks for coming on. Rick, words of wisdom, what you got for us on the way out?
Words of wisdom from Rick Ector on this date. I would say this. My words of wisdom is to always be armed. Never deprive yourself of an opportunity to defend yourself if evil should happen to come your way. Do not let the fact that just because every other day that you lugged, toted, and carried around a firearm and nothing bad happened, or you know what, you were fortunate and you were blessed. Tomorrow might be a different day. Do not compromise your ability to be prepared to defend yourself. Carry every day, everywhere you may legally be allowed to do so. And look, I truly enjoyed being on the podcast today. And you know what? We're going to do this again 1 year from today.
Yeah, Detroit. I'm from 7.5 miles,
and
baby.
Me and Mr. Mills are going to be talking about how much fun we had in Detroit training a bunch of women. And I'm going to be giving you the side eye about 2 years.
I'm from 7.5 miles. 7.5 miles in Detroit. That's where I'm from. And
No, 7 miles. 7 miles. I live off of 7 Mile, man.
Yeah, okay. We are out of here. Big thanks. Stay right there, Rick and Rod. We're out of here. Let me press the buttons properly. We'll see you guys next week. Peace.
All right, gentlemen.
Don't go anywhere, Rick.